Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of LTBR Group Chat. It's your boy Titus. Whole gang's here. Your boy Titus. I got Jason Mo from Jason Mo Reviews. I got Q. We are in the building. What's up, y'all?
Cool, bro.
Man,
I'm cool. Chilling.
tired as a motherfucker, man. I just think I woke up about 15 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? But we made
Yeah.
it. We're here. We've not missed another Sunday. Where's this 5 in a row?
We
We're
we record we're recording late, well, significantly later than we usually record at too. So
I'm
yeah.
impressed with us personally. I'm personally
honestly,
impressed with us. This level of consistency from us is shocking. Honestly, it's not been a thing we've been good at.
All nighter to the flight to a 2 hour nap to the podcast, man. And somehow with everything I did this weekend, I still kept up with battle rap because I'm a sick bastard. So we have quite a few things to talk about from last weekend to this weekend. So we got a pretty loaded slate of topics. I'm excited to chop it up, gentlemen.
my man's was on a flight and said, "You know what I want to do in this downtime I got? I want to watch the Sound Off Battle League live stream. That's what I want to watch. I
Dedication, man.
want I want to watch Holmesy and Jay Moore. That's what I want to do with my time."
Dedication, man. Real dedication. That's why he's here. That's why Jason Reviews. That's why he's just blogging the game.
It was a lot of mid tier activities this weekend. I was able to catch most of them, and whatever I didn't catch, you guys caught. So
Yeah. So basically, where we're gonna go from here, man, we got a lot to talk about. We got TBL warm up. We got Nexus predictions at the end of the show. We got biggest announcement. Well, another big URL announcement with A.Ward joining URL for Summer Madness. A.Ward and T Top.
finally,
We have a new segment called Tweets We Love to Hate. Working title like that. Yeah. So it's gonna be a fun show, man. Let's get started, man. A.Ward has joined URL. They dropped the bomb. What was it Friday night? Friday, Saturday. Dropped the bomb on them. That Ward is here. Summer Madness. A.Ward versus T Top. How we feeling, man?
Major blockbuster.
these the
Like
these are the announcements that move the culture. You know what I'm saying? God tier battles on the card, grudge matches, and debuts. Things of this nature get people excited. And to see A-Ward after all the years of debacle and ridiculousness and trying to make Nun his arch rival and saying he needed PGs.
Jack Boy.
You're not getting the Pat Stay treatment. The public, it felt like disputes between URL and A-Ward. It's such a storied history that this battle, even though A-Ward and T-Top itself is already a good battle, just A-Ward even being here on this platform is almost as important as the main event to some people. I saw ridiculous amounts of love. I didn't get to post any videos or anything. It's when I was out of town, but just seeing how people were reacting to it, for a lot of people, this is the most important announcement for SM15, which is already a stack card 3 battles in. So what more can you say besides blockbuster, man? And good for A-Ward because he wanted a big card. He wanted the top tier or to get paid a lot. He always said he wanted 2 of the 3 things, and now he's on SM in London versus a legend in T-Top. I don't think it'd be a better situation for him.
Yeah, agreed. I'm glad this finally worked out. This was really the last thing A-Ward had to do. If you want to say had to do it, it was like the last thing. It was the one thing he hadn't done in battle rap, basically, right? He got him in youth battle this year with Tay-Rock, salute to that. And this is the last thing he has on his resume was to get a URL battle. He's gotten that, and I'm super excited for him. I know he's gonna show out. And it's an opponent that we all kind of want to see this battle for a while anyway. I think A-Ward T-Top's been a battle we've all kind of wanted to see for a minute. So I'm glad we're getting that too. I'm hyped. It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah.
To me, to me, I think of it as like, because I think that with certain battlers, we still think of them as being new battle rappers, even if they are no longer new when they've long passed that like threshold for being a veteran, right? So Ward is been battling for almost 10 years, and he's had O-Red, Real Deal, Ill Will, um, Averb, and just Danny Myers, and we can go on and on about the litany of names that Ward has battled, the type of stages he's been on, the type of events he's been on, leading with Performance of the Night, Battle of the Night on major, legendary cards, and things like that. And Ward already had a crazy resume before, like the first time the URL stuff popped up, like the 2018, 2019, 2020s of the world. We're talking about the Jack Boy versus A Ward or Nunn versus A Ward. And even at the time, I thought, like, man, he probably definitely deserves better than that. No disrespect to those guys, but A-Ward had done more than enough to warrant being put in a better position, a better spotlight than battling names like that at the time. And it's just even more true 5 years. It's even more true 5 years later when he's had the type of run he's had and been a perennial Cody guy for forever now. But it's a big legacy thing for A-Ward. Like we said, the only thing that he hasn't done, and I'm just really happy and excited for him. And the battle itself, like we said, is one that we wanted to see for a while. So I don't know if we have predictions on that battle and the outcome, but I think that A-Ward also picked the right location to debut at, too, in terms of is this a more favorable crowd scenario for him? Is this better than debuting in, say, like the North Carolinas, New Yorks, Houston's of the world? I'm not sure, but I do think London gives A-Ward maybe a tiny bit of a advantage.
Yeah, I don't know how deep we're gonna go prediction wise. I'll give my initial, but it's just because I think it's gonna be so clear. I have A-Ward bringing the wrath of God down upon T-Top. To be perfectly honest with you, I think A-Ward's gonna make a real statement. I think that London crowd's gonna be receptive to him. The other flip side for this one on T-Top side is the last time he was in London on URL, because obviously he went out there, battled Gemini. I think he's
Oh,
been
he
out there a couple times
did.
since then, but he battled Iron Solomon.
I
And he was
forgot
he
that
was a
happened.
he was a good, not great Iron Solomon. He kind of wiped the floor with T-Top back on SMA. Really was not a close battle whatsoever. And A-Ward should be over the top motivated for this. And I think that London crowd that we know is going to be super receptive because they don't get, what I'm saying, like URL battle rap over there that often. This is only the second time. I think you're going to see a crowd that's ramped up for this humongous debut on the platform. And while they're both all around talents, I think A-Ward is a better all around battle rapper right now than T-Top. I'd probably have him beating T-Top no matter the location. But then you put this in London, I just think it adds that extra bit for him. But listen, it's been another fantastic year for A-Ward, who's undoubtedly, especially, we're not going to be able to talk about it because there's so many things to talk about, but his JC battle was just ridiculous. I'm not mad at anyone telling me that that's the best battle of the year, but at the very least, it's a top 5 battle of the year, in my opinion. So to come off of that, he'll have this momentum going in. I don't know how many battles he's booked for going into this either way. I think it's a perfect situation for A-Ward. If there's anything else I still love about this move, it's the fact that he always, people, I think when we say, why would he battle Nun Nun or Jack Boy to start with? It was a bit ridiculous. It's not that he's above battling them in life. He battled many of lower tiers of battle rapper. But for his first battle on URL after all this time, it has to be a little bit more than that, where he's completely the A side and giving someone all of the opportunity. And what risk are they putting up compared to him if he starts off battling someone like that? But after this T-Top battle, not only is there other top tier matchups, but I think it opens up the door that A-Ward would be down to battle someone like a Yunus or a Hansel or give a fight to someone like that. Shit, Nun's not even around anymore. At one point, people were saying he's better than him, his arch nemesis. He doesn't even really fucking battle anymore. It's only been a couple of years. But there is other mid-tier plates that he could get together. Maybe A-Ward and Twerk. Would it be morally right for it to happen on URL? No. But it's probably something available that could be booked. So I think after this, which is already a great debut, I could definitely see A-Ward continuing to work over there and getting done with like a couple of matchups, him versus Fonz even. I just think there's a lot of
versus Jay the Nightwing.
there's just so many battles that could get brought to the forefront right now. And I just think it's a great addition for URL. It's a great addition for A-Ward at this point of his career, and especially with the 2025 he's having. If he puts a couple of these big plates together at the end, this is the first year in a minute. I think A-Ward has a serious shot at winning champion of the year. And I think it's a wide open race right now, but with the way he's booking and the quality he's giving, I don't put it past him.
Yeah, this is definitely that one that he needed for sure. I'm not ready. You unlocked the memory Smo of T-Top in London that I had erased from my memory. I had erased that Iron Solomon battle because of a specific second round angle that was taken that truly disturbed me mentally. And I had
it was a choice that he made.
It was a decision. A decision was made that Anyway, but yeah, A.Ward on URL, man, the Summer Madness debut, and for the lack of like explosion that Gnome had, Summer Madness is more than making up for that, right? This is the kind of card that your people expect from URL more so, right? Just the big names, the explosive, culture shifting, kind of defining moments.
Returns, debut,
Yeah, like
but
this is what
battlers that come out
people,
once a year.
yeah, this is what people expect from URL, for the most part. So I'm glad to see they were able to get this done. Twerk Lux, Ward, A.Ward debut. I'm missing a battle. What was the other
Rocket
announcement?
Fonz.
Rockin' Fonz. Yeah, like this is that
Well,
kind of
some
card,
people
man.
try to put down Fonz, saying they don't understand why he's on SM. Either he's been on 4 SMs. We got to use at some point. We got to use our brains.
We got to try.
At
We got to
some
try to think.
point, we got to use our thinking caps.
I know that's hard to do around here sometimes, but like we gotta like just
Fonz does
hey.
nothing but win and show up in his biggest battles, and people are like, "Man, I think I've barely seen Fonz this year. I think Fonz is mid." So, some people you can't lead to the water; they just want to be thirsty.
Yeah.
But that's only half the card too. I mean, they're probably going to have by URL standards probably got 3 more battles left. Who knows? Maybe you'll see another return or something like that. So maybe it'll be the gift that keeps on giving.
For sure. I'm excited for it, man. I can't wait for that. September's gonna be a good month, man. Between this Summer Madness, TBL, we'll have a very, very strong.
That's just a week. That's 7 days apart.
Yeah.
Which is a little. Oh my god, it's a lot.
Too much. But it's football season. You know?
Yunus needs to hop into the Lazarus pit. I love a good Batman reference.
Well, let's just go ahead and segue into that. Last week, something happened on this show, on this very group chat podcast you all love. We did predictions for Just Business, and all 3 of us on this esteemed panel all picked Yunus.
Right.
And we all had Yunus winning kind of clearly. And as Prime Big T said, the total opposite shit.
And with the total
place, the total opposite took place.
So far of the opposite.
So far wrong. All 3 of us. Preem put the proverbial belt to ass.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it was the belt. I'd say it's grandma with the switch. It was a rough one. You know what I'm saying? I think and it's so bad that there's really only other debate. There's people getting mad at each other for them not calling it a 30 because of a little bit of turbulence in the first. I've seen people have arguments within the argument, but career win for Los Preem and the worst Yunus performance I've seen to date as well. So you get the absolute 100%. Like worst of a battler, and you get a battler who I don't know if maybe it's his biggest battle up to this point. I think in terms of impact after the battle, it's up there. But Los Preem was not playing any games with Yunus. And I thought, and maybe I could speak for all of us, thought Yunus was just a better all-around talent. As much as we appreciate Los Preem's punching, I think I've even critiqued, and I know Francis talked about it at times too, the lack of maybe evolution from the breakout Danny Myers one-rounder to now. I feel like too much hadn't changed with Los Preem, a little bit of content changing, but for the most part, still that same battler. But when sometimes all you need is the straight firepower. You don't need all around, you know what I'm saying? Like you just got to be better than the guy in front of you one way or another. And I think Yunus might have thought he's so much better than Los Preem that he overthought his approach a little bit. Like no gun bars, the same angles across 3 rounds. I think he took him light and he got treated like someone that took a dangerous battler light. So I had Los Preem 2-1 clear as fuck, and he was really better than him all 3 rounds. I just had him choking in the first. So how did you gentlemen call it? What are your feelings after the fact?
Yeah, the battle was happening. I thought the first round was debatable. I'm like, okay, it's a little weird. I thought Preem had a little bit of turbulence going there for a minute, and then he just kept going. I said, okay, well, that'll be a close round. It's gonna be a good battle. And then round 2 started, and Yunus had to start having a little choppiness. I said, oh, that was a turn. And then Preem didn't, and it was just from that moment on, it was just a landslide. Oh my god!
Preem second is ridiculous.
I'm a student of the game like Randy Orton. I like that.
Yeah, he was
Looney Tunes. Hole so big, I'm gonna look through and say, "What's up, Doc?" Whoop it. It was bad. People were getting whooped, and it was like a half grudge match ish.
Yeah. I would call it. It's probably a bit more than half of a grudge match, but that's more so like I think they like everyone involved would admit it. But it's like probably like a bit like more of like a inside baseball grudge match, but like there is still a lot of tension there. There's like there's so much tension to the point where like Yunus does the angle that we're talking about where he's like referencing a tweet Preem put out saying on whatever that I'm not going to battle Yunus, and yet is the basis of two of Yunus's rounds. And Yunus has had battles where there's been some intensity behind it, but never anything like that. So I would say that I wouldn't even call it like half of a grudge battle. That, like, to me, when you see that market difference in Yunus's writing and the intensity behind what he was writing or attempting to do, is like there were some legit like feelings there as well. Like I would just straight up call it like grudge match territory.
Yeah, it felt. I would call it a grudge match. It's obviously I feel like a high level grudge match because they're not those type of names yet. But that battle felt very important for just the trajectory of that class, right? Because all those guys are grouped together. Excuse me, and both looked at the like 1 and 2. So it felt very, very important for that battle to happen, and they seemed to carry it like that. The energy was very, it was very some nice, good old negative battle rap energy in there, right? ACP, I want to get into that. I thought I didn't know much about what Preem did or didn't say, right? But I thought using the angle for the first round by Yunus made sense. Like, okay, cool. You're gonna start the battle off. We're gonna go right to that. Cool.
I'm with you there.
Running it back in round 2, I'm like, bro, you made that point in round 1. You can't bring it back now. You gotta nail that angle into the ground in the first round and establish it, and then you gotta get past
it. And then this is my thing is because I agree that I don't really think conceptually that I had a problem with the angle and him approaching it that way. When you then double down on it in another round, that's when it starts to teeter into the realm of disrespectful. Even if the content itself isn't like exactly disrespectful, because you're talking about you invoked your friend's name to uh, emphasize the seriousness of what you were doing, and then you seemingly reneged on it. That to me is like, okay, cool, that's a fine concept. When you then do it in another round, that's when it feels like, okay, it feels like you dragging it, and that's where the disrespectful side can come across, or the feelings can then settle in there. So I don't think the angle itself was all that crazy or out of pocket. I think that when you repeat it so often, now it's like, okay, like what are you doing? Keep saying this man's name and all that stuff, and that's when it becomes a problem, at least to me.
it. Yeah. That's when it's hard to play you're already teetering on a weird line even doing it. But once you keep repeating it, it's like, yo, are you good? Is there an actual, you know what I'm saying? I do understand that. But yeah, I thought it was just poor execution by Yunus. But I think it's a learning experience. He'll be fine. But he did go through that. And it's something that's going to happen to everybody at some point. But now the question is, how do you respond, right? Because all these other losses Yunus has had, right? The judge battle loss that people have tried to debate. They are competitive battles. But this person ain't no conversation to have in this battle. There's nothing to talk about. There's no like interior more just got it wrong, blah blah. No, there's
not
nothing
even
to
like a
discuss.
good battle. Like
yeah, no, there's
it's still a good one. He's always liked
Yeah.
to build him up. He didn't light anything. He got lit up.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
How
There's
did you
nothing to
guys
discuss
call
here.
first? Because here's my thing. I saw some people. I think Los Preem choked at the end of his first, but then I think he had a fake choke bar to follow. Because there's no way you take a whole minute to like set it. I see some people like there was a bar you weren't hearing. Like I was hearing, but my eyes work, and I'm not an idiot. Like I watched him stumble over himself with a completely opposite bar, and then I watched him pivot to the fake choke bar. So good IQ on his part might have tricked some people there. I think Los Preem rapped better than Yunus in the first, but a choke is a choke. Like I know that as we get farther into the friendship era of battle rap, I see so many people trying to say you can win around with a choke, which is disgusting. You're foul. I want less of you in my culture if you think that way, or in this culture, I should say. But overall, I thought even giving Yunus the first round of the battle off of that technicality, Los Preem still lit him up in the last 2 and had a career performance overall. So I have that was my one debate point I had with people. And after the fact, I see some people wanting like elevated looks for Los Preem. I think the answers I liked most were Hansel and JC. And I think he could take those maybe on the Riot, something like that. Because as amazing as Los Preem is, I just want to see him do what all of the great battle rappers do. And that's travel from league to league kicking ass. it is not a matter of belief if he can do it or not. I know that Low Supreme can beat quite a few other very good battle rappers in other leagues. And I think, this was a step. It's not on iBattle. It's on like Doc's, kind of just business card, smaller room. But I want to see him on the Riot. I want to see him on Black Mafia Battle League. Calico's been talking about booking him over there. I want to see him I'd love to see him on URL. I think Low Supreme would fit in just fine. So I can't wait to see what he does next. And really, my last comment on it is as for Yunus and kind of the people that love Yunus, always doing the timeline. Of course, he has a humongous fan base that is very passionate, about him as a battler. He's a polarizing figure, right? A lot of people love Yunus. A lot of people really are against Yunus maybe becoming a star in battle rap. So when he wins, he gets like double credit. It's very loud. And to those that like him, you got to stop doing a pity cry party whenever he loses too, because that is part of the game. People are getting slandered. All of a sudden, I'm seeing people bring up King just to deflect or just like bring up other names to shit on or not. He lost. It doesn't mean he's never going to be a star. There's going to be people that say that, but that's what you get. You think he's the first person that people get over dramatic for a loss? That is battle rap at the highest level. You can't only want the good part of it at the highest level. And then when you lose, it's like, well, oh man, he just like he's always trying his hardest. He choked multiple rounds and he got his ass whooped in a battle that he was completely belittling the guy and acting like he had to be at like 60% to beat him. You got to hold that L and you got to hold the slander. It doesn't make the slander true, but this is just part of the game, man. I think Yunus is going to be fine, but it's the worst loss of his career. And he was getting torn up on the timeline as if it was the worst loss of someone's career. So you got to take the bad with the good. That's part of the game for anyone that's a fan of him. But overall, shout out Low Supreme, and I can't wait to see what he does next.
Yeah. I think I was gonna say something else. I think one thing for Low Supreme, like you said, the point about him battling off onto the platform. This wasn't iBattle. Had a little iBattle feel to it, I will say. I mean, Chris and Dutch just love them both. They were commentators, love them both. But it had iBattle feel, felt comfortable. But I'm not taking anything away from him. But it did have a little iBattle feel. But I do want to see him in some more road environments, right? I saw the iBattle coalition tweeting like, yeah, see, they say he's only good on iBattle. Well, we said that because he wasn't off iBattle. All right. That's why we said it. That's why it happened. And we like to see him battle off iBattle more, right? That's how the way you beat those areas by getting off of that platform and doing more.
We know he can, but
we just want to see you
doing it.
execute it. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Even to this point, like I just want to. He battled off of iBattle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's also put the rest of the context around the event. It's not iBattle, but what is it? It is a faction
Doc versus Billionaires,
group versus group deal.
Mm-hmm.
So he's also like still battling like with what the iBattle commentary team there, whatever you want to put stock you want to put into that. But he's also still battling with all of his group mates there as well. Like, I'm not even doing that to take away from it, but it's like if this thing, oh, you said Preem couldn't do it, and it's like, well, what the fuck? Like, this is still like a group versus group event, and he's still like right there with his friends behind him. Now, here's my thing with Preem. I think this is a nigga that wears shades, wears a face mask, and wears a towel over his head, wears all black fits every fucking time we see him in every battle. So as much as I would love to see Preem say on Black Mafia Battle League because Calico seems to be such a big fan of his, or him get an opportunity on one of those smaller bags and bodies cards, or whatever, or a TBL battle, or whatever else, I would love to see Preem do those things. At the same time, I'm not sure Preem even really wants to do those things either, because this is how he carries himself. He doesn't do interviews. He doesn't market himself. Doesn't promote. Doesn't do all these extra things. He barely posts pictures of himself. He likes being a kind of out the way, mysterious guy. If that's what he's into, and battle rap is kind of a hobby for him, then that's perfectly fine. But that's why these conversations about iBattle and specifically Preem can be so frustrating, because they'll be so loud and so boisterous and take offense to the idea that you said our guys can't do it. You said our guys can't do it. The nigga doesn't want to do it, clearly. He has shown no interest in doing it. So what does it? So if I say that I don't think that Preem, I want to see Preem do it somewhere else, or I want to see if Preem can handle himself somewhere else, but he has no interest in displaying that, how's that my fault? And if battle rap is just a hobby for him, that's perfectly fine. No one has not everyone has to have these bigger, grandiose aspirations in battle rap. That's perfectly okay. But if that's what it is for him and he doesn't want to do it, and we're like, man, it would just be cool to know if Preem could handle himself elsewhere. We're allowed to feel that way.
Right. It's not a slight. We're not slighting our battle. We're just saying we think this guy's really good. Let's see him do it somewhere else. That's all.
Hansel and Los Supreme on the Riot, I would love that.
I would
And I
love
also
that.
like the idea of a
Yes.
JC battle in terms of a top tier name, because JC's not he's not gonna like shotgun Sugar where it's like it's a side mission. You can very much tell it's a side mission. Like JC, especially coming off that A.Ward battle, which I mentioned again because I love that battle. That's a really great style clash. He's going to show up with the full 3 rounds for him. That's one that like it's a top tier plate that's going to count, especially with the right timing and the right league behind it. But yeah, I agree. It's kind of funny. I didn't even think about that because I know Chris Tex had, and shout out Chris Tex as well. I think it was just his birthday, but him saying like it wasn't an iBattle setting at all. Like as you said, it was Doc Rowe versus Syndicate Billionaires. Can anyone tell me where Syndicate comes from?
Is it our battle?
So it's just like
iBattle
I'm
Group.
not saying that he
Yo,
can't.
matter of fact, I'll do you one
can't
better.
do it.
I'll do you one better. I'll do you one better. One of the niggas that book iBattle is in the fucking group. Like Archie is like literally part of Syndicate. And like shout out to Archie and all that shit. But like it just goes to the whole idea of this like these like feelings of being slighted that they have when it comes to Preem or their other talent. And it's like, dog, you want to you it's in Ohio. Cool. That's dope. You traveled. It's not nothing. But don't sit there and forget the other context of this being a group versus group event where you still had all of your friends behind you during the battle. Just like how Yunus had his friends behind him, you had your friends behind you. You can't sit there and erase that from the context. It's still there.
But I still think he's having an incredible 2025.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I'm so
absolutely.
excited. And I'm only speaking. I think we're only speaking so heavily on this because like we actually really want to see it. Like I really want to see like
That
where
comment's amazing.
the last is on a roll.
Last is cooking.
He was the one that
MVP for
Everett
today.
Ross comment, I believe, too. Shout out to you, your
Yeah.
comments of the day so far. But nah, even with all these, because I think these are worthwhile critiques. These are the debate points that came up after the battle. But as for the Yunus people, you need to stop acting like this in the face of losses. And as for Los Preem, I cannot wait to see what he does next, and I hope he's doing it on the road. So those are my big 2 takeaways. Humongous W for Los Preem overall.
and I will
Yeah,
say like
good.
my last thing on like the Eunice on the Eunice front because I think that you like as far as like what would be the critique of Eunice and like the people that are maybe still like doing the coddling of Eunice, so to speak. I do think that there's also this other side of it that is the calling that is kind of like maybe feels like they are calling Eunice's head to some extent, which comes with taking a bad loss, right? The thing that I will sit there and defend when it comes to Eunice is for as long as he's been battling, I've never seen that nigga choke. Ever. I've never seen him stumble.
He looked
I've
shocked
been,
he choked. He looked shocked that he choked.
there we go. That explains it. There
Yeah,
we go.
yeah, it all makes sense now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like
Yunus
he's
looked
never
shocked he
choked or
choked.
stumbled. He looks surprised. Like
For real.
he looks surprised that he even stumbled. I see this tweet. The criticism is that Eunice is getting too big headed.
It's possible.
Here's the
It's
thing.
possible he was for that battle.
Here's the thing. I think I think that is entirely possible. But I do also think that there's a level of that battle was just like the first time Eunice has ever had any actual personal animosity towards someone going into a rap battle. And that is a different mindset that you have when you have to write material, prepare, and do all these different things. It's not an excuse. He still got his ass
Right.
whooped. He still took the worst loss of his career. But I do think there's something to be said about this being the first time he's ever battled someone where there was that level of disdain and animosity involved in his creative process. So I think for
Yeah.
people that are like, oh, well, after this, Eunice can't be on such and such big card. Eunice has to take a break. Eunice has to do X, Y, Z. One, Eunice isn't a very active battle rapper in the first place. He's battled like 4 times this year now. So he's not super active.
Yeah.
So like I don't know what the sitting down thing would mean. And I don't think that just because he took a loss here means he's not still like the clearest new guy of the future.
Yeah. Last thing I want to say about this is on to Low Supreme's credit. This is what the third guy from his class from that group of guys he battled. King, Yunus. Is there one more? Am I missing one?
From
King
what?
Yunus for Low Supreme. Low Supreme's battle what? King and Yunus. Is there
And
one more he's battled? And Appa.
Appa.
And Appa. He's argued. You can make a case he's 3-0. At worst, he's 2-1 in those with 2 clear wins in that. So that's something to give some props to as well. You know, we always do all this talk about who's the best in these classes, and one guy has 2 clear wins over some of those guys in that group of guys he gets grouped with. So
That and
we're
that and
salute
that is a
that as
fact.
well.
Like Preem has faced the other guys, and
Yep.
he's handled business accordingly. Whether you think like I had him and King is very dope, and I think a super close battle. I had Preem winning it. If you have King winning that battle, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I
But
had
like,
King. It's
Yeah.
a good look for both.
but like
Yeah, for
otherwise,
sure.
a judgment on Appa and the worst loss of Yunus's career under his belt, and like it's not just about Yunus. Obviously, Preem was really really good in 2 and 3.
Yeah. Yeah, for
I
sure.
can't imagine. Like, well,
The Hunt
King's
said,
got to see some more opponents too, but
yeah.
I do kind of agree.
The Hunt said, do you guys feel this loss affects his position in in the ranking of new guys? I don't know, man. I look at that and I know the new guys are going to lose, but the stakes feel higher in this one, and it feels like it's got to mean something. It definitely means something. I agree. I think losing your first grudge match in a real main event spot is a big L to take.
Class
I think
versus
it's a very
class.
big L to take. Yeah, it's a very big L to take, especially when it's class versus class, right? Especially coming off the gnome battle where you beat Chess, right? Like in your gnome debut, you beat Chess and then you took this kind of L. It does hurt. I do think the Chess battle is doing a lot. It's like because we saw him in a stage that we haven't seen any of these guys at. Honestly, none of these other guys have touched that kind of stage, and he was pretty much flawless in that environment. So I think that does hold him up to a spot. But if people drop because of this, I'm not mad at it either because I do understand it. This was a major loss to take. It was.
No, you got to like slant. It's it's just a matter of it could put some pressure on him, but at the same time, like some of these other guys also have not shook a New York big stage and had them chanting 3-0 versus a New York battle rapper. Granted, you know how kind of on the easier side, I think Chess has been to beat forever. That contrary to some other other beliefs, but also you have battles like Yunus versus Rum Nitty, Yunus versus JC, Yunus versus Miss Hustle, where ironically Yunus versus Miss Hustle
Yunus versus Pass.
yeah,
Like
Yunus versus Miss Hustle is also kind of in a safe environment. At what point the stuff that Los Preem is facing for this battling in safe areas, Yunus was facing. Actually, a lot of new guys face it, so it's not like anyone's especially getting picked out. But that's a low that we haven't seen maybe from these other guys yet. But Yunus has still reached a couple highs that we haven't seen some of these other guys reach as often. So I don't know, power ranking wise, if I was ranking the new guys, I just think it's a little bit more debatable, but I'd still have Yunus at 1. But that's why he's got to bounce back, because this opens the door for that conversation. And then the next loss or two would be like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, now what are we doing? Because then this starts to lead into like a skid, which it has for battlers in the past. Now we have to start, I think, really questioning and re-ranking positions. But I think this just opens the door to a conversation, because before his accolades were kind of lapping everyone else in the field. So it just adds to the competitiveness. He's got to step it up. Maybe a King or a Los Preem, like we said, going on the road or different leagues from here, they're like, yo, the door's open to be number 1. And that's just good for all of us involved. So I do think it's a worthwhile question, whoever asked that one right there. But I wouldn't just right now be like, yeah, Yunus is demoted from rank 1. That's a little unfair.
Yunus is still champion of the new class. Below's got money in the bank, so we got to look out. that's one way to put it. That's one way to put it for sure. Up next, man, we have more battle rap this current weekend, this past Saturday. The warm up. TBL did 5 free battles on the YouTube stream.
There's 5?
With their face, I think it was 5. It's 4 or 5.
It was 4 or 5. I only watched one in its entirety. You guys are gonna handle it. I think they only booked 4. Oh, yeah, because J2 and Clone got added, but it wasn't on the flyer. You're right.
Yeah, so it was 5.
Yeah. Shout out to free battle rap, man. Salute to that.
Always should be free battle. Free things.
Thankful.
Not
I'm
paying
thankful.
for things. I like
I'm
that.
thankful. I appreciate it. So yeah, this was a cool little card. It was what you think it would be. It's not anything gonna be majorly impactful, but it was battles that happened that we get to talk about and discuss. So J2 and Clone. Hey, these J2 first rounds,
yo,
he's been doing some things.
First round from him was
Boy,
ridiculous.
boy, he was on Clone's
Silencer
helmet.
sounds like what you should have
You
did.
should have.
It is what you should have did.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah,
I wasn't sure because like he's made that silencer thing like his like special move,
yeah, yeah,
and like sometimes that can have like diminishing returns. Like I didn't know if he could ever top the sounds like bitches taking accountability,
yeah, yeah.
but that sounds like what you should have did was crazy.
It really was. It really was. Yeah, really good showing from J2 early on. I don't think he matched the energy in rounds 2 and 3, but I think he was. I don't think it was a dramatic fall. I think it was still good. I think his first round was clearly his best round.
Yeah,
I don't think he rode uphill. Um, but yeah, the steel told bar. Yeah, it was
still told
crazy.
was crazy.
He stole the bars though. I'm not.
I saw that little
I'm not.
clip online.
We
I
gotta
mean,
stop.
he was looking up Sino Savvy battles. Like, I need that. Like, we gotta.
Yeah, we have to stop. Like battle rappers
They
have
are
similar
similar balls,
ideas.
I get it, but
Yeah,
come on, like,
yeah,
when he was running through Sino Savvy footage, like I need that one right there for my clone battle coming up. Come on, man. Come on.
this happens all the time. People have similar ideas in battle rap. It happens all the time.
And if you
Did
take
y'all
away,
see? They try to
F-Body
say
first, he still wins the first.
right,
So,
right, exactly.
it was a coincidence, but I don't think it's that deep.
Yeah, it's never
I
that
don't think
serious.
J2 was stealing any bars from
You
that
guys have him
battle.
winning.
I don't
I
either.
only saw the third round of the battle. It's the only round I was able to catch. I thought the third was debatable. I see some people
Yeah, I
giving
thought
it
it.
weird. I thought it was a close third round.
Yeah, I thought I did too. Actually, I thought it was a very close third. Because Clone's actually still good in this battle. I think regardless of like what happened with Clone, what people think of him, you put Clone in the battle, he's still good enough to beat some of these guys.
Clone second and third were very good. I'm gonna be honest, I like this battle a lot, honestly. Like
Yeah, me too. Me
this
too.
is one I'd recommend going back and watching the full battle. It's a very good battle.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And it was a good way to start the night too. That was the first battle of the night too, and they got right to it. But yeah, I think I edged J2-2-1, but I'm not mad if my ass Clone 2-1 either. I think I edged J2-2-1 though. But it was a good battle, man. Good showing for both of them. Especially for guys who kind of talked themselves onto the card, right? Because they weren't, like I said, they weren't on the flyer because this kind of happened naturally in the space, and this popped off, and they booked the battle and got it done. So shout out to that.
Yeah, I think I agree on having J2 2-1 edge on this battle. But if anyone said Clone won the second and third, I don't think that's crazy at all.
Yeah, I'm not mad at all. Not mad at all. Good showing for all parties involved. Eon and First Lady Flames. Good work.
I was a believer heading into this one.
Yeah, I mean,
I was a believer.
I heard they weren't all that clean, so I heard the battle wasn't like crazy. But I'll double back because I always want to watch First Lady Flames rap. Always a First Lady Flames fan, even in the
man.
back. It's been a lot bad for a little bit now, so it's good to see her getting back a little bit. But I heard that heard it was close, but they weren't clean.
Yeah, I edged Flames. I won't say edged Flames. I think I had Flames taking it a little pretty clearly, but Eon was good, similar to the coffee battle, right? Where she had a good showing of herself. I just don't think she did enough to get over the hump necessarily. And her going against Flames is odd because they're so similar.
Yeah.
Like delivery, stop. It's very, very similar in how they rap, right? But I think Flames had the veteran experience. I think Flames is just a little bit better than she was. So yeah, I had Flames one. Like I said, it's nice to hear Flames rap. You know, somebody I was on the Flames bandwagon. I jumped off a little bit. Now I might get a life raft, go back over there, go back to the ship a little bit.
Well, she jumped off for a little bit. That's kind of amazing.
It was a ship with no captain.
Turn around, yeah, we turn around. Like, there's no one on the wheel. Like, we're just lost.
Right. Just stranded at sea.
Stranded. But yeah, I thought that battle was really good, man. I'm excited for Eon, man. I want to see more Eon battles. Give me more Eon battles. I'm a fan. She is. I'm a fan. I support it. I'm here for it. Yeah, Flames was nice seeing her get back in her bag.
I'll say with Eon that it's like, because this is back-to-back weeks now, right? So it's like,
right.
And she's done this already, and she's done good in these looks against like what you would call the higher tier women. I would still call Flames like a higher tier above Eon and everything.
For sure.
But she is like, at least based off the last 2 weeks, maybe approaching that like good loser territory. And I would like to think that maybe getting back to people that are around her class, her experience level, whatever her tier level would be, I would say that getting back to that level of comp and maybe racking up some clearer wins would do some good for her because I think talent wise that she is showing that she at least somewhat belongs against the Coffees and first lady players in the world. Like Coffee cleared her, but she looked pretty like very, very good in that battle. Against Flames, she's not as clean, but it still like wasn't like levels were shown or whatever. I think that she's approaching good loser status if she doesn't take that step down in comp.
Sure, it's
And I
fantastic.
think that if and I think that she like goes back and faces the women of her era and tier, then I think that she could get some favorable results, and then we can move back on from there.
Yeah, what should happen here is you take what you learn in these battles, and you go from these battles, and when you were in the tournament for a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship, and you take these, you go back, you fight for the Intercontinental for a little bit. You know, go back to Intercontinental title bracket for a little bit, get some clear wins there, have a nice little run. Then you step back up to the top tier, right? Like I think that's definitely the best bet because she has made a name for it. She has done enough to where you take lessons you learned from these last 2 weeks, put it towards somebody not on that level necessarily, and let's see you get some cleared up to show the separation and show why you belong in those battles, right? I think that's definitely the next play for her.
Can we talk about Death next?
Yes.
Death
Yes,
in the
yes,
Spear.
yes.
I did catch one
Yes.
battle because I only caught one battle from this whole warm up situation. I caught Rock Lee versus Jay Gray before we had shout out to my dog. One of my best friends got married, so I was out of town for the weekend. But before we had to head out, at like 45 minutes, and I knew the events were going down, so I was able to catch Jay Gray versus Rock Lee in its entirety. And I think this is an interesting one. Rock Lee got absolutely smoked,
It was a
3-0.
rocky showing.
Terrible. Yeah, and Jay Gray did really good. She's really been cooking under the radar. I think she's a good example of like female battle rap talent that is damn near unknown, I think, to the greater public. But she's someone that needs to be getting booked. And the first thing that I really thought after this battle, especially with the announcement of WTBL, because it's such a big opportunity for you to battle on TBL as a lady right after the Ladies League got announced. I want to see Jay Gray get booked more. I want to see Rock Lee get booked less. I think that's kind of like a bit of a fucked up thing to say, some people might think, but what Rock Lee did wasn't just lose. It wasn't even just choking all 3 rounds, which we've seen and is never a good thing. It's the easiest way to kind of tank your career or any momentum you had, which she doesn't have because she just lost to Eon as well. But like the nonchalantness and treating it like a joke, it generally angered me a little bit, especially at the end of the third. First of all, she was using the fan in her hand to disguise her, I believe, reading her rhymes off her Apple Watch or phone. Disgusting. That's absolutely, we cannot be getting down like that whatsoever.
But I
And then,
respect the strategy of it. I
yeah,
respect the attempt at hiding it.
I had never seen nonsense of that level. So some creativity points for like
Yeah.
just embarrassing yourself in a different way. But the way
Yes.
that she ended her third and like made it a joke and just like cut after 2 bars and laughed and said, "You'll catch me in the next one," blah, blah, blah. That just shows a lack of effort. That just shows a lack. We don't need to see that. And I think it's not fair to all of female battle rap, but with all the question marks around new talent of female battle rap, and with the hype Rock Lee's gotten over the years, where there is people kind of like pushing for her to get used more, do we not applaud creativity? But even with the hype, like that was just embarrassing. And with WTBL around the corner, if that's how you treat the first opportunity, don't book her. Like I hate to say that, but there's just no other way around it. I've always kind of questioned what her peak talent level looks like, anyways. But seeing something like that completely turns me off to watching a talent. Like I'm good on her for quite a little bit of time. A better example of overconfidence than Yunus. Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, it's one thing to lose, but at least Yunus was mad in his losing. You know what I mean? Like you could tell it frustrated him, and he's given us so much good. The good still outweighs the bad, and look at even the way he's getting kind of like critiqued out here. So for Rock Lee, disappointment isn't even the word for it. I was honestly a bit disgusted, but shout out Jay Gray, man, because that's a you take her momentum. Any momentum Rock Lee's name had, I literally feel like I just watched Jay Gray snatch it off of her name and put it onto her own name. So love to see what she's going to do next. I hope WTBL utilizes her. And as for Rock Lee, maybe sit down for a minute and think like if this is really something that you want to do, because that wasn't cool whatsoever to do with that opportunity. I was really confused with that one.
Yeah. Rock did not have a solid foundation in this battle. She didn't open the gates. She didn't tap into the 12
She didn't have
gates.
what, Titus? She didn't have a solid foundation.
She didn't have a solid foundation at all. No, it was not
I
solid.
like that a lot.
I would
She
say, I would say, in fact, that she got primary lotus. Honestly,
She did get primary Lotus. That's exactly precisely what happened to her. I
Like
feel like
PDP. She had her in the crucible. Yeah.
I really do. I echo your sentiment, Smoke, because I do think that, like you said, like the WTBL thing popping off, the chance for you to kind of be a face for that leading platform, and that's how you treat like the first opportunity. It was a very, very nasty look, right? Like the look of nonchalance, not caring. And for Rock, we know Rock, like she's been public about, right? She moved to a new job. She EMT now, I think. Like
Yeah.
brand new field, new job. I respect that. Yeah, I really do respect that. But like you said, you got to decide this is what you want to do, because it takes there's focus required in this. If you can't do it right now, cool. Take some time off. Take care of your real life. That's more important anyway. That's a job. Jobs have benefits. Job has health insurance. Take care of that, please. Stay with that. But like I said, if you're gonna be on these stages, you can't be with the fan talking about pose. No, this ain't fun. Ain't nothing funny right now, right?
No, I wasn't.
Like you dying and you trying like
you're trying to make jokes.
You trying to like charisma your way out of this. Like
yeah, and it doesn't excuse it when higher level people do that, right? But they can get away with that a little more because they've established something in this culture, right? You haven't established enough to even attempt to move in that manner at all, right? So it was a very nasty look for her. And I like Rock, and I do want to see her be better. I know she can be better. She knows that too, right? But it was a nasty way to handle that for sure. Yeah, Jay Gray said, Jay Gray, man, great showing. I want to see more of her, more Jay Gray battles. Give her the spot. Give her more battles on that level. Let's see her keep improving. I think she's got potential. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got on that. But yeah, death occurred. And you know, you need a good body sometimes. You need a good 3-0. A good 3-0 makes everything easier. There's not much to discuss, right? You get it done, you get the body, you move on with your life.
You know what's funny is like we were like, I know for at least like me and Frank having a discussion like earlier this week about, hey, what are the bodies of 2025? And he asked me that, and I'm like,
oh, the list is forming.
And I'm like, yo, I don't think there's a list so far.
Oh,
Like, I don't
it's
think,
forming.
but it's funny that like he asked me that, and then like Rock and Jay Gray happens, and it's like,
right.
Oh well, here's an answer.
As of now, I'd probably go Hustle versus T Top. I think we've been lacking bodies at like the highest level. Like if you go into the crates, like there's been deaths, and I think Jay Gray versus Rock Lee is like a great example of that. I think there hasn't been as much like just body bag level battles in terms of the high, and that's usually what it's a combo of the highest level of impact, like real names and bodies. I've seen some people trying to say Easy versus Suge. I wouldn't put that in the combo. I think Easy did too good, even though Suge won the battle clearly. I think Easy did too good to classify it as that. But yeah, this is one where even though the impact won't be there compared to some candidates at the end of the year, on the top 10, I'd have to put something like this because it's like one of the top versions of Jay Gray versus one of the worst version of Rock Lee. And that's really the gap in like output that creates a body bag. It has to be someone doing really bad versus someone doing really good. That's the way I've always viewed it. So that was my one battle that I got to watch fully. You guys will give recap on the last few, but with that one, really, I was happy to go to the wedding after that. I'm like, I see that my time is not needed here on this screen. In that battle.
Sniper and Monster, I didn't catch it. Q, you watched it. How'd you feel?
He did the eye show speed, eye closed. He said nice things about it on Twitter, though. Q.
Yeah, the internet loved this.
As they always do.
Twitter was big fans of this battle.
I like Lamasa, and I think that he has potential, and I'm open to seeing him more often and getting chances on different platforms. I do enjoy Lamasta.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Sniper.
Not a fan.
I have not like I had no.
So you had Monster winning the battle.
I have not been a fan of Sniper since the 6 days. I never got into it. I forget what battle it was. They were super hyping up back then. It was the same card that had A.Ward and Reed, and I hated listening to him rap back then. And it's the same now. I hated listening to him versus Foots, and I hated listening to him rap here versus the Monster. Allegedly, he's a pen. Look, like, I don't know.
That
You
might,
know,
that might be Q's best comment on the pod. Allegedly, he's a pen. That's what they
look,
say.
the closest, because I've tried to wrap my mind around why he just seems to keep popping up and getting this praise. And the best thing that I've been able to think of is this is like American franchise, not in terms of the content, but in terms of like I've had like seeing someone get so
Imagination.
clearly, getting someone clearly so carried by like vocal projection and delivery when like I think
Franchise
their
be Danny
content
Myers.
is like kind of dirt. Which like that's how I felt about
Franchise be Danny
that's how I
Myers.
felt about. I want to be clear. That's how I felt about franchise at the time. My feelings on franchise have changed, and I've become more sympathetic to No Lack and Nation in the years
Sit
since.
Mac down the middle. It's a Mick double.
That did happen. Um, but I don't know. Hey man,
Yeah, I thought, and I didn't watch this.
shout out Monster man.
Since I heard good things about this battle, I will be watching it to see if like how. But I remember Sniper and Foots got like similar type of hype where they were like, "Yo, this is the battle of the night, broke the building," and like I thought it was like a solid battle. But when I watched it, I thought Sniper was cool. I thought Foots was like good. I had Foots winning pretty clear, but I was not moved by this. Was like this is a standout battle of 2025. So in the way this is playing out, just seeing how that went, it could be that way. But I know Lamont has had a couple performances. He beat J2 this year. And J2's had like a pretty solid year. Like that's a W of value. And I've seen Lamont put up some highlights here and there. So I'm more privy to believe that he did show up in this battle. I hold somewhat not as strong as Q, but I hold some pretty similar sentiments on Sniper. It's not a style that I've particularly loved. Even when he had the Blue Room battle, I cannot remember exactly who we battled right now. I remember watching the battle though, of course, on RBE, and I thought he was like serviceable, but I didn't think he was like a standout by any means. Maybe this battle will change my opinion, but I'm not like moved too much. You know what I'm saying by it. So it sounds like you had Lamonsta winning. You would not answer Titus's question. You just continue to talk about how
What's
much
the
you do
answer?
not like watching Sniper rap.
Well,
Okay,
I have the Monster winning the battle pretty clearly.
pretty clearly. Okay, but I heard
I
some people saying battle tonight. So I don't. At the very least, if
I think those
you
people
guys should check it out for
should
yourselves too, and let
have
us
their
know
heads
if you
examined.
agree. Yeah.
Muwap is there. Shout out to Muwap, man. This is a reply to a comment from earlier about Yunus and Muwap. Muwap says Yunus is scared, and he has been consistent on this message. Muwap has stated this message for a very long time. This is the consistency that you want from political people. Like just a consistent message. And the message is he's scared. That is the message that Muwap has. Shout out to Muwap.
And I love how when Muop when we were like, yo, we like this call out, people were like mad at us for liking the call out. That's just the nature. That's what I'm talking. Like, why are you
That's
mad
what
that
battle
we're
rap is,
liking
man.
call outs? Like,
That's
stop
what
doing that when your guy loses. You're mad that other people want to bat it. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. But Muop doesn't believe Pens can beat him. And he's been pretty like strong about that. And he did whoop on Appa. Well, I think Yunus is quite a bit better than, to be perfectly honest with you. So I think that's a much
I will say, is there a science to if you beat Appa, you can beat Eunice? Because Lil Scream just did the same thing. So is there a science to
might be.
this?
Could
theory
be.
of relativity,
It
Hey,
could be.
look.
theory of
Yeah,
penetivity.
that's right. That's right. Before we go any further, we got what once. Oh, there's one more battle. That's right. Danny
Which is
Myers and Saga.
Danny and Saga.
Yes, yes.
You guys-
This was actually my battle of the night. I thought the battle was
Yes.
really good, very competitive. I enjoyed rather raps on both sides. Outside of that, it was a bad Danny Myers rebuttal day. This wasn't a good Danny Myers rebuttal day. It was bad. It was bad. So this wasn't
Yeah,
the Danny Myers.
it was one of
It
them.
was like a Tatum like 1 for 10 from 3 type of night.
Here's the thing about Danny Myers. When Danny Myers is having a bad rebuttal day, that also happens to be the days that he rebuttals the most. So did that?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
absolutely. That's a fact.
It's
That's
like
a
when the
fact.
first few don't hit, he's like, he's like a Deion Waiters. I like the Tatum comparison. I don't want to slander my guy. Always got
Of
one.
course.
But it reminds me of Deion Waiters, where I think he said, "I'd rather go 2 for 30 than 2 for 9. 2 for 9 means I quit." So if we had a bad rebuttal day, I'd assume there's a lot where they're like, "Why'd you say that? You could have just not wrapped it." So
Yeah, this was probably my favorite Danny bar. Bert he had a bar in his third round He was like, I killed LeBron in Atlanta. Guess where they find his other half, Savannah. I was like, oh,
That was crazy. That was
yeah, that
crazy.
was wild. So
Yeah, I need
yeah,
to
that was my
watch the
favorite
battle,
portion
but
of it.
that just sounds crazy.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, yeah. But no, the battle was really good, man. They did about, I think, what, 2.5 minute rounds. I think they got right to it. Get right out
Yeah.
of it. It was the perfect timing. Saga was good, man. Saga's good in these situations, as usual. Saga's consistent in these kind of smaller settings. It's kind of his vibe. So he did really good in the battle. Danny was
He's
good. It's a competitive
small
battle.
league
I
legend.
liked it a lot. Yes.
That's what Saga's turned into. I don't know if there's ever going to be like real big league upside for Saga again. I've just seen the playbook play out too many times, get to an opportunity of value, get some real momentum, just not be able to break through to the larger audience. But in these situations, Saga's a pretty much always good for a really good performance. So I cannot wait to watch that one. That'll probably be the first one I watch. Hopefully, the first one they drop. I think it's the most name value battle that they had on that little warm up card. But I'm glad to hear it went good. Do you guys have a winner? Because I heard
I
I've
think
seen Saga clear, but
I was
I
was leaning Saga. I thought as good as that bar was, that Savannah bar was in Danny's third, but I thought Saga's third was a little more pointed. And I thought he said something. He was like, we were mad at John for not paying you. We were also mad at you because for going back when he didn't pay you the first time. I'm like, yeah, that's true.
And that's true. Because why are you doing that?
Fair point. Yeah, it's fair.
Why
and like,
for people that are stealing? It doesn't make any sense.
I'll just say this real quick. Yeah, I have Saga as well, but I think that also goes into the fact that Danny clearly put a lot into his Fate performance the week before because he was ridiculous versus Fate.
Yeah.
And Danny does battle all the time at a high frequency anyway, but battling someone as good as Saga, as after the week after you battled Fate, and you put so much into that battle, is there's bound to be a bit of a slip at that point. So I have Saga, but I still think it's like a fairly competitive battle.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. I would watch it again. This battle you definitely can watch and rewatch if you find it. I think the stream might still be up. I'm not sure though. So before we get into our Euro Nexus predictions, because that wraps up the TBL warm up event. None of the face-offs were live. They're gonna hold that footage back. Fair enough. That's gonna do some numbers. You got a Mookie Hitman face-off. It's gonna go crazy whenever you drop that. Hopefully it's soon. And please don't drop a trailer for the face-off. Just drop the face-off. I don't want a face-off trailer. Just give me.
I'm going like a random drop. You can like let us know it's coming if you really want to. Like, hey, Wednesday we're dropping the face-off. That'll build hype in itself. I've already seen clips getting even for us, if we're being honest, I've already seen clips getting shot down all over the place. We kind of hate promotion as a culture, even though we ask for it more. It doesn't make any sense. But I heard it was a really good face-off as well. And I'm assuming Nitty and Calico also had their face-off. They were scheduled for that. And the little clip on 15 Minutes of Fame of Cal seeing Nitty on the side of the road practicing was hilarious. So I like what they're doing. I like what TBL's doing, and I can't wait for that to drop. So
for sure. Before we get to Euro Nexus, we have a new segment we're going to debut. This will be a recurring segment. Due to communication errors, everybody doesn't have topics here. But it's going to be tweets we love to hate. I have a few. I have a couple tweets. If we can get those put on the board. I want to start with John the Don, first of all. This is going to be things to see from the timeline throughout the week. Because, Battle at Twitter, it'll give you some topics throughout the week to talk about, boy. It will never fail. But yeah, got these John tweets up here. Let me pull them up from my phone, actually. John had a rant, because y'all know John's been in the news lately for, payments being given or not being given in a timely manner, or not at all in some cases. Some people. But so John decided to respond to all of this, right? Let's see. Which one I want to start with? Yeah. He said, never did anything out of ill intent. Know everything didn't go as planned, but who is 100% on point every time? Maybe I put too much on my plate, but I tried. For every 3 mad battles, there's 20 that'll say I looked out if they real. Help niggas get plates for nothing in return. I told Sirius what the situation was, and while I was waiting on paperwork, he cried about how he was in a situation and needed money ASAP. What did I do? I sent him money before I even locked the battle in out of good faith, but I bet he ain't say none of that, did he? Of course not. Jay Mills was worried nobody was going to book him again after that whack-ass battle with Cortez. And what I do? Throw a life raft because I felt bad for the legend and told everybody on the card to give me a week after the event for the back end. That's what I did. Where's the foul?
Nasty Cortez try. Nasty
Right.
Cortez try.
I offered Danny more than what he was asking for and actually paid him more than what he was getting from anywhere else at the time. I bet that wasn't shared. And it was offered under the circumstances of what was to come that never did. Thought I was looking out, but guess not. Don't forget I was funding events out of my own pocket. No sponsors or secret partners, just me. So of course it wasn't easy, but I made it happen for years and to literally feed the culture. What if WCF have these niggas done besides rap and take? I'll wait. So those are John John's feelings on everything. If you don't know, Serious Jones just basically said that he had to confront John after Endgame to get his second half of the money he was owed. Pretty much, right? Because John didn't have it at the time. Jay Mills didn't really do anything, honestly. Jay Mills was just on with Goods and said John paid him 2 weeks after the battle. But, according to John, it was 1 week. So,
and Danny Myers also didn't do anything because
Danny Myers literally was just like, well, there was the rumors about John not paying people coming out. And they asked Danny Myers about it. He said, no, I didn't get paid. He didn't make it a big thing. He just said he didn't get paid what he was owed. So John made these tweets about everything, and a couple ones outside of there's a lot of excuses for not paying people what you contractually owe them. It's a lot of beating around the bush. I just want to say, John, it doesn't really matter what you did behind the scenes for other people, because in these situations, there were these things called contracts that were signed. And typically, when it comes to contracts in battle rap, the money, or in general, the money has to be paid in a timely manner. Typically in battle rap, the practice is before the performance, and then the second half after the performance, like immediately, not a week, not a couple weeks, not when I get it. It's typically right after. That's kind of how that goes. So yeah, I know he's the league owner, so he would probably know better than I would. But I know he's also been a battle rapper. I don't know how well he would have taken it if just said he just never got his second half, and then the league owner didn't pay him, decided to tweet about it, they didn't get him a second half, and they did all this other stuff for him. I don't know how he would take that.
Or if the league owner didn't pay him and said, "Suck my dick" afterwards.
Right.
I think the words were "eat a dick."
Oh, eat a dick. My fault.
Yeah, let's be specific, please.
My fault. Let me correct myself.
We are a journalistic outlet. We have to.
I don't know how well John would handle not getting his second half and then being told by said league owner that owes him money to eat a dick.
So this tweet right here, right? Don't forget, this is at 1:12 a.m. on August 15th. He needed to go to sleep. He said, don't forget, I was funding events out of my pocket. No sponsors or secret partners, just me. So, of course, it wasn't easy, but I made it happen for years to literally feed the cultures. What have these niggas done besides rap and take? I'll wait. I want to be honest with you, big dog. If you chose to be a league owner,
you were a league owner.
You were a league owner. Your job was to book battles and pay people. That's the lane you chose. If they chose to be rappers to show up to your platform and get paid to rap and leave, that's how this goes. That's the nature of the business, sir. I don't really know what else they were supposed to do besides rap and take the money that they were owed. That's what they signed up for. You signed up to pay people for battles. That's what you signed. You became a league owner, signed up to pay people to battle, bro. That's what you did. You wanted to pay people to rap for you, and then you put the battle on YouTube and get money from it. That's the thing. That's the whole nature of the business, sir.
You solicited to purchase their services. Like,
keep in mind,
you inquired to purchase their services.
A league owner complaining about owning the league is crazy. And here's my thing with John, right? He was saying that we all know the in-game story by now. It was a lot of the money was the contingent on Cassidy showing up for the battle, and then all the second half was gonna happen.
Not a good plan.
Not a good plan at all. And it's a worse plan when we know for a fact this is at least the second time this happened to John. Let us all remember the Mr. Fab event. That Mr. Fab event where he was like, yo, Mr. Fab's supposed to pay these people, blah, blah, blah. These battles happen because it was on his end of things. It's like, okay, cool. You know what? You went on our half one time with somebody else. It didn't work out. Cool. Understandable. That's a mistake we can make. Doing it doubling down a second time. Doing the same thing again. Like, incredible. Just incredible lack of business acumen. Just dumb. Just honestly, just bad strategy.
And I gotta add too. Keep in mind, the end game footage is somewhere next to the detox, as well as the Spider-Man 2 DLC. We're never seeing it. It's gone.
It's
It's gone.
gone.
So not
It's
only now,
gone.
so you show up to battle for bullpen. You're only
Yes.
getting paid your deposit. You might not even be seeing the second half, right? Or at least for not for weeks at a time. Your battle doesn't get dropped. And when you're like, hey, my battle didn't get dropped and I didn't get paid, the person who booked it tells you you need a dick. I think maybe it's a good thing we're getting some less bullpen battles going forward because this is
Absolutely.
not a recipe for success. What I'm seeing right here, man.
It's not good behavior.
In, in,
It's
in my
just
in my
it's
in my
very
thing
poor.
is like you said, no one came at him crazy.
Nobody.
Like unless you want to say like, oh, we feel his way about like the dramatization that maybe Sirius Jones could have added to Sirius Jones' retelling of the story, which is an entirely different problem, an
Mhm.
entirely different thing, right? But in the case of Jay Mills and Danny Myers, those niggas did nothing wrong. Danny
They just
Myers
stated
got
what happened.
Danny Myers got asked a question because he happened to be on the card. Danny Myers didn't come out and be like, "Oh man, that John nigga owe me money." Da, 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 da. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. He got asked because it became a topic leading into the Fonz battle. It got brought up in the Fonz battle. Cassidy had mentioned it. All this different shit. Like Danny's not the one that caused the problem there. And you told Danny eat a dick?
Like
Like, bro, you
it's
chose to
so
run a
crazy.
league. This is you. It was my funds. There were no sponsors. It was my funds. Okay, if that is so hard for you to pay people accordingly to when battle rap norms are, so before the event and directly after, at least within the next few days, if that is so hard for you, then maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't be throwing events. Wild concept. Wild concept. If you cannot responsibly pay niggas, if you cannot responsibly do these things that are your duty as a league owner, maybe you should spend less time being mad. Everyone calling you out for doing janky, less than stellar business, and be like, hey, you know what? Being a battle rap league owner is hard. I'm gonna back away from a bit because if you can't afford to do it, then maybe you should chill out.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about business, right? You never don't spend money you cannot pay back. Right? That's like the nature of anything, right? Your credit cards, anything like that. Anything that involves money and money owed and money spent, it's always do not spend more than you can pay. You can spend more than you can pay. This is what happens. And now you mad at them because you owe them money, bro. You can't be mad at Capital One for being like, hey, we need that money you told us you was gonna that we gave you. You need that money back. You can't get mad at Capital One for that, brother. This is your responsibility to pay them. It's your responsibility to pay them on time. Especially and it's so much crazier to me to have this mentality as a battler. That's so insane to me.
I just have a hard time believing that John the Don would ever take a battle rapper, would take a league owner, treating him the way he's treating Jay Mills and Danny. I
It's really
have an
insane.
impossible time thinking John the fucking Don would just sit there and be like, I'm just trying to look out, this and that. I'm not trying to throw niggas under the bus. Da, 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 da. John, no, you wouldn't do this. So why do niggas owe you that type of uh blind loyalty or blind trust to not throw you under the quote unquote throw you under the bus when you solicited their services and they weren't compensated either on time or at all?
At all. And I'm not saying he is, but John used the language of a scammer. And I'll leave it there.
Now
That's
the
the last thing
J
I want to say.
listen, everyone knows that I'd be good with Jay Mills never battle rapping again. However, for you to turn around and be like you admitted not it wasn't 2 weeks late. I
Nah, it
paid
was
you
1 week.
late,
Like I
but
told him it
you're
would be.
lucky I even booked you because you were ass versus Cortez and worried. Now I believe him because most people don't even know that battle went down and that would be an
I forgot
incredible
it
pull
happened
from him.
actually.
That's not, I'm not gonna lie, J Mills being ass is not a good enough reason to not be paying J Mills on time. Like, I'm not saying I disagree with part of the statement, but that is not gonna get you through scammery. That's not a good enough reason to not be paying people.
It's not.
So this is
Uh,
it was all bad. And
Yo,
it's
this nigga, John's like, I changed his broke nigga life because he wasn't gonna get no battles, and he mad at me because I paid him a week later. That's crazy.
it,
Like, And by the way, I'm not calling Jay Mills, bro.
No, it's
I'm
a
quoting
meme.
the
It's
meme.
yeah, the meme. It's a meme. It's a meme.
But like with John,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I saved this nigga life. He ain't mad at me because I paid him a week later. Yo, niggas is ungrateful.
Let me
Yeah.
yeah. My next thing that I want to say, and this I have one more tweet that I love to hate.
I was going to mention a tweet as well. So
Oh, go ahead. Oh yeah, no, you go ahead. I gotta do go. You go ahead.
It's gonna be real quick. Shout out to my boy Lou. I know he's doing media over there. It's like Top Shot Media. You know what I'm saying? I know he's with Spot him. Got him. He's doing media over there. He's doing his thing on Twitter. But I had seen him tweet Quest McCody as the Tim Duncan of battle rap, and I need you guys to stop pretending like you watch basketball consistently. That one really upset me. That's just the only thing I wanted to say. I did not like that. I'd less of hoop comparisons.
That's a bad tweet.
I didn't like that one at all. No disrespect to Quest McCody. Tim Duncan's a top 10 player to ever touch a basketball.
Yeah. That's the problem here. Is I feel like Tim Duncan his name gets thrown around so loosely when people are like viewed as not flashy or like outwardly spectacular in their field.
Want to compliment a boring motherfucker? They mentioned Tim Duncan.
So they just say Tim Duncan, but I'm like, bro, like Tim Duncan is like top 10 is probably too low when referring to Tim Duncan.
Motherfuckers be good and boring, and they compare him to the big fundamental. Please stop.
Yeah, we gotta be better individuals. We gotta be better men.
That was my little topic on that tweet. I really
Who got compared to Tim Duncan? I'm sorry, I missed it. I apologize.
One question McCody.
Someone's like Quest McCody's Tim Duncan.
So
not
yeah,
we can compare Quest to someone good, but not to
yeah.
Duncan.
So yeah, my other tweet that I had, because I didn't want to get into that. My other tweet that I had was by one Hansel at Great Job Hansel on Twitter, aka Water. Hansel tweeted, and this it's not necessarily about him. This is more of a cultural commentary. Okay, he tweeted, Holmesy has to be in the Cody conversations as well, and I don't want to. This isn't about Holmesy. This really isn't about Holmesy. It's not about Holmesy or Hansel. Okay, this is about the words Cody conversation. I have a PSA. Cody conversation. Well, Cody that means anything. Okay, Cody conversation. Anybody with three battles, or is it four still? Smoke? Is it four or is it three?
For the final year, it will be three.
Three. Anybody with three battles is technically in the Cody conversation. So that's a sentence you can say for anything that doesn't really mean much. So I want all of you to stop saying Cody conversations and start putting placements on it. Where you got it, man?
Right. Top 15.
Top 15. Top 20.
Top 20. I can get behind. Now, do I think Holmesy is top 20 for Cody right now? No. But I could be open to like the debate because I do think Holmesy is a vastly underrated talent. But it gets to the point that people like other battlers say 16 names are in the Cody conversation. Yes. And then God forbid we rank that name above them. They'll be disgasted. And Q, I don't think your mic's working, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to like. Has he battled more than twice?
Well, it's really the name that he's bad because I think Holmesy's been active, but he just hasn't because he battled Madflex this year.
That was this year?
I think it was this year. Yeah,
that was this year with the 40 bars and Danny Carter.
Okay, that was this year. Battled Madflex. He battled Jay Moore yesterday.
Battled Jay Moore, and I'd like to think that there's one more in there that I'm not remembering. I don't know if it's versus someone like crazy. Might have been like a Fate level battler or something. I don't know. So
yeah, but I want people to start specifying Cody conversations because it'd be 3 people tweeting,
right?
It'd be 70 people named in the Cody conversation. Only 20 make the list, so start putting placements.
He should be top 20.
Yeah,
vastly different conversations. One you might be able to sell a little bit. The other one you sound nuts, and it's just a matter of how people perceive that message.
Yeah, just general PSA. Anybody with 3 battles is technically be in the Cody conversation. So let's stop just throwing that around loosely.
But I think we got one more topic. Most interesting. We got predictions.
Yes.
We have predictions, and hopefully by next weekend we'll have a recap. Nexus, which is actually the 4th Nexus, if I'm correct. I don't know how I feel about URL not putting numbers on the series. It just says Nexus over and over, but I'll keep track of it since no one else will. I believe it's
it is 4.
Guys, and I think, this might be the best one. Mainly one, it's pay-per-viewed. We like that. We like live battle rap. It could be shitty level battle rap. It could be top tier level battle rap. I like watching things live and experience it with my friends and others in the community, being able to joke, praise, slander. So that's a big part of it. It'll be on Watch Battle Live, but the card itself is we are going to ban Tim Duncan comparisons from the podcast. I don't even want to see Tim Duncan's name
because Tim is underrated. Yo,
Tim is a top 10 player to ever play the game.
yo, son.
We're not comparing mid-tier battle
Yeah,
rappers.
I don't know what you want right now.
Stop doing it.
I like everything A1's doing.
Stop it.
A1 is doing.
It's A1. What you doing?
I like everything A1's doing, man. I like everything that's happening right now.
His name is Trolliser or something like that, and I appreciate him. He's a lot of funny comments. Enough with the Tim Duncan comparisons. But with that being said, how do you guys feel about the Nexus card, man? I think it's the best one they got on paper.
I like this card a lot.
A lot.
I really, really enjoy this card. There's a lot of things that I'm interested in seeing how they play out. There's battles there's like returns here that I'm interested in. I was never super interested in the idea of an O-Red Miss Hustle rematch, but over the last kind of day or so, I think I've gotten talked into it. Like I'm actually kind of into the idea of the rematching now. So top to bottom, I really, really like this card.
How many people be in Orlando, Titus? It'd definitely be less than 67, right?
First, it's less than 67.
We're
less than 67 people in the room. We're gonna get a good. Yes,
we're in for an incredible O-Red in a dissipated room that has gaps in between the actual people within the room, and then Miss Hustle, who really needs a win right now. This is one of the few battles she admits that she lost. You know what I'm saying? The original battle. It's one of the few that she really holds that L. So there's extra motivation and good setting across the board. So I agree with you where that it almost seems a bit random.
This man.
Now here's the thing, Hunt, you're not wrong. You're actually not wrong. We don't fucking need it. It doesn't serve any larger purpose.
We don't need the battle.
But I think situationally, if there's certain situations, I think this battle would be an ass rematch. I think right now with the current circumstances, how O-Red's been in kind of that Orlando smaller room, and the fact that Hustle really needs a W, and the history of the battle, it's just the perfect storm of events where I think this can be decent. It's not my favorite battle on the card by any means. There's quite a few battles I like more than this one, but I agree with Q where I usually think this would be terrible. I'm not mad at it.
Here's my thing. If we start doing our battles, what battles we need, there wouldn't be
a lot of battles.
We couldn't even average a card a month. We might be able to average one card a year and we'd be good if that's how we did battle rap, honestly.
How are you calling this one though, man? I know we're kind of starting at the co-main. We could go back to the card and do it the right way. But how are you? Since we already pretty much discussed Hustle and O-Red, how are we calling?
Well, we discussed the parameters of the battle, right?
Right.
So, in a room that has 67 or fewer people, I think O-Red's impossible to beat. So, under the right populous circumstances, I think that O-Red is on his way to a very, very impressive performance. I think Hustle will still be very dope, but I think that O-Red, we haven't seen him in a little bit of time. The last time we saw him on URL, I did have him beating Chilla. That was a great battle, but I did. But
fire.
The day of the triple entendre day, one of my favorite days in the history of Twitter Spaces.
So
I love that day.
So I do have O-Red winning this battle, but I can see a world where this battle winds up being really good, maybe even threatening for battle of the night. I think this could be a really good battle.
Yeah, it's definitely in my upper echelon for battle of the night. So we got 2 O-Red picks. We can't be unanimous again after what happened last week, so I'll take Miss Hustle just based off that.
So you think there'll be 68 people in the row? I think
Miss Hustle might bring the 68th person with her to then cause O-Red to lose his voice.
And then his
voice stops working.
His power up deactivates.
Yeah,
you know yeah, I'm with that. So I mean, I think it's gonna be a good battle. We got 2 with O-Red, 1 with Miss Hustle. I wouldn't be surprised if it's debatable. Since she's a much different battler than the first battle. And if you ask me, I think genuinely in 2025, she's a better battle rapper than O-Red. I just think the situation fits O-Red pretty well. And then of course the ghostwriting angle, he might have a field day with that one. But we can start now. We get double back. What is the first battle on the card? Because I believe it's a battle.
The card on the bottom of the flyer is Wusa versus Kid Slade.
Wusa versus Kid Slade, good matchup. This card has good matchups, good stylistic matchups, in my opinion. Titus, I know that you don't think that there's a winner within the 2 battlers in this matchup. So I know that you don't have as much joy for this as us, but I do think their styles play off each other well. No, that rapping ability. A little bit street talk.
I think this battle would be better on a beat.
This is a verbal
Like,
war
so,
zone.
so,
I would
so,
love to hear. I would actually love to hear these two dudes just go diss track for diss track.
like, would you want them on like that on like that Philly league where they're
Absolutely.
like where they rap at the
A-
table?
absolutely,
Ooh, I don't
absolutely.
know
I
what
love that
that's
league.
called, and the host be a little.
I think it's Takeover. I think
Yeah.
the league is also called Takeover. I think so. Yeah, I love their battles. I think his battle fits better there. I like Wusa more than I did when we had the first iteration of group chat after final exams, and I just wasn't really a Wusa. I just didn't see it. I do see it a little bit more now, but he and Slade have a similar thing where they're both really good rappers, but they're also have times where there's just nothing landing. It's just really good raps, which causes me to lose my attention to the battle. And I think this battle has the potential for that to happen. I'm not super excited. I am glad to see Kid Slade not battling a top tier again. You know,
Yes,
glad we got
That
him
is
back.
Slade to
that
the
is good.
gallows. I like that we stopped
Yes,
sending him to death that he can't overcome. Nitty in Arizona to work in a small room. The nonsense had to stop. But I'm not
I'm
gonna
glad
lie.
we're getting it
I
back in
think
order.
Usah's got to. I think Kid Slade's got to earn my trust back a little bit in terms of winning battles. Most recent win was Cortez. Cortez is actually pretty decent in that battle too. But I had him losing to Souffleur. So even when he's not battling top
Yeah.
tiers, he just hasn't been like good for 100% beating people. And Wu, who's on a little bit of a losing streak now, a little 2-3 battle skid if we're keeping it a stack. He's worrying me a little bit right now, but he has better momentum and he's just given me higher level and more impressive performances, to be honest with you, in the last year or so, especially. So I'm going Wusa 2-1 edge, but I think it would be a close battle, and I wouldn't be shocked if Kid Slade wins. I think Kid Slade's peak is higher, but I fear that just the way his booking was handled and then the way the angle hit him, we may never see peak Kid Slade again. I don't know, but he has to earn my trust back a little bit. I'm going Wusa 2-1.
But this is Q's favorite battle of the night based on his tweet. So go ahead, Q.
Is this the Cooper Bowl?
This is the Keeper Bowl. This is true. This is the Keeper Bowl. No, I love this battle. When Musa was first like coming up and was in the crucible process a couple of years ago. At first, when I was writing up a piece for the Let's Talk Battle for Let'sTalkBattle.com, I was going to include stylistic comparisons for the Crucible guys. I scrapped that idea because I couldn't get through without it being disrespectful. But the one that I had for Wusa was Kid Slade, like immediately just with the rapping ability, the flow pockets, and things like that. I thought the Kid Slade was the immediate comparison that made sense for him. So this is the battle that I've wanted for a couple of years now. It's one that I always thought made sense for both of them. I thought it was a one that made sense for Wusa's upward trajectory and everything. And I think we're at a point now where it does finally make a bit of sense. Um, Especially if we're moving on from the idea of Kid Slade battling these top tiers that he really had no business battling when he battled them. So if we can go back to that point, I am very happy with that. I like this battle a lot. Um, Prediction though, I Wusa is battling a lot recently. Wusa battled a 3 rounder like a couple of weeks ago, the week before the doc event, and then he goes and battles Justice on Just Business, and good battle. I think the general reception of that is pretty favorable, but I had Wusak getting kind of cleared in that battle, to be honest.
I did too. I think he lost.
So
He wasn't
it,
bad. He lost.
he wasn't bad, and Justice was phenomenal. So it's not like a super bad loss or anything. But I did have him getting kind of cleared by Justice. He had a 3 rounder the week before that, and he did choke versus Twerk. And now he has another battle a couple of weeks later versus Kid Slade, who Slade doesn't battle very often anyway. But if you're telling me that like Slade's battling an opponent who's battling all the time, wasn't clean in one of the battles recently, and just lost kind of clearly in one of these other battles, it's hard for me to not pick Slade here, even if I'm not happy with how he looked versus Twerk. So I have Slade here 2-1. I'm not going to call it clear or anything, but I think just in Slade being more well rested, Wusa's recent form being a little concerning, I have Slade here. But maybe this is a battle that Wusa's more entertained by and enthused for than battling Justice on the Just Business card. So we'll see, but I have Slade 2-1 here.
Yeah. G said he got Slade. Slade gonna float on him, I think. Wolves of Madness is ruined. You know, maybe. But don't never give up hope. There's always hope. If we gave up hope, Tony would have never saved would never help finish the time machine to bring everybody back in the end game. All right.
So what? Next battle, if I'm correct,
Wait. Title. You got a prediction here?
I don't think he does.
Nah, I ain't got much for you for this one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I ain't got much nothing for this one.
This might be Titus's sniper versus the Monster.
Titan's gonna start beatboxing when the battle drops.
Nah, it's crazy.
No, we gotta beat back the beat. We gotta beat back the dude that used to put the bars over the beats. Bring him back for this battle specifically, and like put the beats over the battle. And then
Titus just wants to see this as a sincere cipher.
Yes,
no, honestly,
correct.
He wants like, all right, round one is on Wusa. Yo, could a beat on?
Yeah, yes.
Can we cut a beat on?
Yeah, cut a beat on, please.
Oh,
I love both of them on beat.
Battle starts, you hear Shook One start playing. Titus is like, yeah, all right. Like
you just hear ether,
right? Francis, he's saying, "Nah, so we can spin back, talk crazy about the results." No, that's not it. I'm not enthused. I'm not excited.
And listen, if it's a good battle, we'll tell the truth because we like the
battle. Yeah. If I would,
we have our opinions.
I am open to be surprised by this battle. I don't think I will be. My prediction is I won't be surprised by it, but I'm open to being surprised by it.
Speaking of surprises, we have a new guy returning, which sounds a little bit stupid when you say it out loud, but we have Klutz versus Chess. Klutz, brother, you went to the store and didn't come back. We don't know where you have been, but we're happy to see you again, man. Klutz versus Chess is a battle I like. I'm happy about this one. Interesting matchup that after watching Chess's 3 Letterman interview, I did not like the way he was talking in that, using the words such as unmotivated and things of that nature. Not happy hearing that. But motivated or unmotivated Chess is a liability to win a battle. So that makes it a little bit harder on him as well. But if you get a good Chess, I'm excited to see Klutz back either way. I mean, his last time we saw him was Danny Myers. It's been over a year, I think, since that battle, and he was like amazing versus Danny Myers. Even though he had good performances before that felt like the breakout, and then he just went away. He beat Danny Myers. He said Rum Nitty and Tay Rock were falling off. Then Rum Nitty battled Lux. Tay Rock won Cody. We didn't hear from Klutz for a year, so that's kind of poetic how that all went out. But now he's back, and I like that it's versus a name like Chess. I got Klutz winning this 2-1 clear, if not 3-0, man. I'm excited to see what Klutz does versus Chess. How do you guys feel about the battle?
I'm inclined to agree. I'm somebody who has a love-hate relationship with Klutz. And it's not even all his fault. It's someone, and they know who they are, who is responsible for what's happened with me and Klutz. He knows
about you, Shams.
That's right. That's right.
Soul right now. We love you, brother. But you know
That's right. Yeah, Klutz, like I said, disappearing for a year was that. It's hard to maintain momentum in this game when you're gone for that long. It's hard for people to remember you. But this is a good chance to remind people, right? It's Chess. Chess, like you said, the name's always going to have value. Whether he's good or not, beating Chess is going to have value because it's Chess, and he's always somebody that you holds in high regards. This is also a battle that I absolutely, every time I hear Chess talk about dudes outside of Yunus, right? And it didn't even matter there for real, based on how it went. But every time I hear Chess talk about newer guys, it's always like, yo, these battles, I use battle for the love. I'm excited to do. I don't be watching these guys, but I love the game, so I'm happy to get these shots back. And all these battles go the same way where he loses. I don't know which one of these guys he's beaten since probably the 2021 era of Chess.
Yeah, like back when he beat Jerry, he was giving Jerry a shot at the time.
Yeah.
And for a while, I thought when Chess battled like mid tiers or lower, he was actually good.
Incredible.
My big thing with Chess for years is he lost to top tiers. But he would actually handle business winning wise versus anyone of his lower tier.
Yeah, like that year we had Loso, Easy, Chaos, right? Like that year's like, okay, he's taking battle seriously. And then I don't think it's ever been the same since.
Yeah, then he lost Servo and Soufflare.
Yeah.
And now it's like, all right, the losing has no bounds. Like you just never know when he's gonna show up. There's no safe zone. That's like Chess is going to handle business here. Yeah. So I'm not really sure. And then hearing words like unmotivated, just the way he's talking about the Klutz battle, Klutz is like coming back off of a year hiatus, ready probably to smoke something. Right. Especially looking at his last performance. And then Chess has just lost to Yunus, and this battle is even lower profile than that. So I think this is just set up for Klutz to do amazing, to be honest. I their Danny Myers level performance if his love is still in the game. because I haven't
Right.
heard too much from him either. So I don't know
Yeah.
if his friends just forced him to come back or he wants to rap, but he has the ability to be great in this game. He just has to want it.
Yeah,
So
if Chess, it's a battle where Chess can come up there and show up playing if he wants to, he will absolutely get smoked. It's
yes,
just that simple. It's that simple.
I caught some of Klutz's interview with Three Letterman. Shout out to PSA.
Shout out to OG, by the way. Shout out to OG because
Clutch
Yeah,
three
City.
hits
yeah.
for like
Yo, look,
70.
Klutz. Look, Three went on an interview spree.
Three is like 75 interviews over the weekend. Shout out to three.
Nigga, this shit was
Three was
ridiculous.
not playing game. I was mad, bro. I couldn't get the. I texted Three immediately. I said, "I know you're gonna be on top of that A.Ward interview within the next 2 hours." T-Top, A.Ward, this one. I was like, okay.
Nigga, he had Foot, he had Wusa, he had Klutz, he had Slade, he had everybody, bro. Like,
He's interviewing people he don't even need to interview. Foot's interviews out of nowhere in there. You know what I'm saying? So shout out Three, man.
niggas just being interviewed that was never been interviewed before. Like, just crazy.
Right,
Like,
right. I love three.
but
we all got Klutz.
so Klutz said that, like, when he took his as far as taking a break, that like whenever people talk about like the life and or whatever when it comes to like taking a break from battle rap, that's usually a negative thing. And Klutz is like, nah, like my life is actually like pretty cool. Klutz is saying, hey, I got a new girl, we have a baby on the way, I'm going back to
Congrats to
school,
that.
like all this different stuff. So Klutz is saying, I'm actually in a really good place mentally and coming back to battle rap. So this is entirely a thing where like Klutz wanted to come back. Klutz is interested. Klutz is motivated.
That's so fire. I didn't know.
Yeah. So with that being said, there's already so many concerning elements regarding a chess battle in general, especially like we pointed out here, with him battling someone of a lower status, a lower tier, the Swervos, the Souffleurs, the Yunuses of the world, right? So because of that, and him being even less motivated versus a Klutz who he's probably not familiar with, like I think it's a recipe for this to go like really, really, really badly for chess and for it to go amazingly versus for Klutz. Because I think Klutz, as much as I would like to see him more often, and be a guy that has himself in that quote unquote Cody conversation, or to be a guy that just has himself more relevant or battles more frequently, right? It just seems like a guy that's not motivated in that manner to battle that much. But when he does pop out, he takes it very, very, very seriously. His pen is moving for it. He's motivated and he goes up there and puts his best foot forward. I say that to say that like I think Klutz might do chess really, really bad. And I know that after doing the Yunus and Prem one, that we're a little nervous about all of us having the same pick. But
I'm
I
making an
think that in
exception.
this scenario here, that everyone having Klutz is probably the correct answer.
Yeah, I'm making an exception here. This is Chess hasn't shown me that killer instinct that he had before, and I think Klutz. I think when you take that long off and you're somebody like Klutz who kind of always has something to say, I think he for sure has something to say in this battle.
And listen, Chess will always be, in terms of just talent level, he's a super level talent. You'll never make me feel bad about predicting against him. So this another death taxes and Chess losing.
You guys never learned. That's just true. All my G said, I think we get a goodie. I think Chess just sent a message URL. The thing about sending the messages, you have to be in some kind of position of power, and he's just not.
What was that? What's the message?
Yeah, it's just he's not in a
I'm
position.
gonna lose again.
I don't know. Here's the thing. Like
I don't know. It's getting mistreated. Like
I'll always say this with Chess. Chess is the level of blockbuster megastar that if he ever put like 4 or 5 really dope ones together and just had legit momentum, he's the type of nigga that could like out of nowhere get like a yo, you guys want to see Chess and Mook? Yo, you guys want to see Chess and Hollow? You guys want to see Chess and Lux? You guys want to see Chess and Hitman? He's that type of person. The problem is Chess just could not consistently do that. It has not done that since chasing K Shine. But Chess is that type of star.
I take ACP.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's a hot take anymore. And I'm like, I am a super Chess guy, and I've been asking myself this question for a little minute.
Like, 2021 is the best we're gonna get.
And it's weird.
Was really special. It's the best we're gonna get, guys.
I think for people it's hard to say that like somebody's peak when they're still maybe 25. But you got to look at from the fact that this dude's 10 years in the game at this point. So his best days are probably absolutely behind him, right? It's just kind of
and it's crazy when you look at Chess and the level of megastar that he is, that like he still hasn't had certain battles come across his desk or certain things that he's accomplished yet. When you look at Twerk, and Twerk is about to have battled Mook and Lux already, right?
Yeah.
But you look at Chess hasn't gotten either of them outside of doing the 2-on-2. Like, yeah, Chess could always be a guy that if he has the right momentum, he could do it. He just doesn't do it. So it's like, what message are you sending? That like you want bigger battles? Well, stop fucking losing. You shouldn't lose to Luke Castro. You shouldn't lose to Yunus. You shouldn't lose to Swervo. You shouldn't lose as a player. Stop fucking losing then. And then you're gonna go out there and lose the clutch because you don't watch his battles. You're not familiar with him. And then this nigga has beaten JC, beaten Danny, beaten Cortez, debatable with Chilla, whatever you want to call them. I think it's a fairly close battle, but face like very high level competition, has faced some of the best writers battle rap has had to offer. And you're gonna go out there, not be familiar with them, and get fucking smoked. I would like to be wrong, but if there's like a message there, then how about you just stop losing?
This is a spicy pot. I like this thing. Next battle, Bill Collector and Hansel. I like the idea. I like this battle a lot. I wish we had Bill in a little better form than what we've seen him in. I think he's fine in the Sharon battle, but he kind of got cleared in that. I wish we still had like just a better Bill coming into this battle.
Far from his best recently.
Yeah. I wish we had that coming into this battle, but I do like this battle. I think it's a very interesting. It's a different style of battle for Hansel. I think Bill can show you a good performance, but I do like this battle for Hansel. Hansel's a guy who Hansel has the mannerisms and the like internet social media presence of a top tier, but he doesn't have nearly enough of the cash air resume for any of it to stick, right?
100%.
Can I make a wrestling comparison?
Sure, go ahead. Oh, I'm scared. He's laughing. Hansel
is Trick Williams. Now, if you're not familiar with Trick Williams is like been in like WWE's like developmental brand, like NXT for a few years. He was the champ there. Currently, the champ in a product that WWE recently has control of in TNA. So people have pegged Trick Williams to be like he's a star kind of guy for years now. Like, just has the look, the charisma, the mic, everything that it takes theoretically to be a star. But why is it taking so long for Trick Williams to like be on the main roster? Well, the problem with Trick Williams being on the main roster is that in the ring, which still matters to some extent, that he kind of sucks. He's still been there and he hasn't really improved that much. Now, this is not to say that Hansel sucks as a battle rapper, because he does not. Hansel versus Saint is really good. He's beaten Shug. Back in their like rising days, he beat Yunus. The Ace battle's very good this year, and I haven't beating Ace. So this is not to say that Hansel is a bad battle rapper, but I do think that Hansel occupies a space where like the bark hasn't quite matched up with the bite yet, and people kind of like be like, "Hey, Hansel, he should be here. He should be here. He should be here." And it's like, I haven't been entirely moved to feel that way yet. So I don't know if the Trick Williams one is apt to you, Titus, but I kind of compare him to a Trick Williams, where people say this and it's like, well, I haven't seen it yet.
I do think this year's talent's matching up though a little bit. Like I do think like this year is the first year where I'm like, even with some losses in there, because I kind of had Saint beating him in their battle. It's a judge loss to Justice. So there's times that like I still don't think it's like a perfect record by any means, but the quality, like he is becoming one of the most talked about topics after every card he steps off of, whether it's battle of the night, whether it is a W or just a
round of his.
Yeah, and I think a Bill Collector, especially, he's had a couple bars that are like really that whole autocorrect bar, like he's walking away with a level of impact from each card, and he's got a certain level of delusional shit talk that I think all great battle rappers have for the most part, which I'm not mad at that. Talk crazy. I do think this Bill win, I say this Bill win, I do have him winning clear going into this battle versus Bill. In part one, because of how big of I think this battle it is for Hansel right now versus another top tier name. Inappropriate timing, not shotgun shug on traffic, and he's gonna rap 11 fucking minutes, and we never asked for it. This is like, okay, Hansel deserves a name right now. Bill Collector's a name, and Bill hasn't been in his best form recently.
On pay-per-view too.
Yeah, Hansel needs a signature win here. Not just a good battle that he barely loses. And I know that Bill at his top form is like a tough. If Bill ends up being an A+ form, it would be unfortunate for Hansel.
Shit happens. Shit
Yeah,
happens.
yeah,
But
exactly.
with the way things have been going recently, really think this is a great signature W. Where when Hansel's been calling out DNA and John and acting like that's sought after,
Tay Rock.
I haven't heard any of that. Like Tay Rock gives shots, but I haven't heard any of that. Like people really demanding those battles. But now it's organic. He's been battling mid-tier names, he's been building his way up. Where now, if he beats Bill, I'm kind of and he's really good like he's been, but it's a W versus Bill Clichter. I'm now open to looking at him getting a big opportunity on a Gnome or SM type of card. Or because I mean, look, he's low-key done more than Wusa. You know what I'm saying? Like outside of maybe that Wusa Ab battle is probably a bigger accomplishment than the biggest accomplishment between the two of them, having a genuine debatable with Av. But I love Hansel's momentum right now, and a Bill win is the type of win on the type of name where it's like, okay, you want to be box office, you want to get to that next level. That's where you really start earning someone like me's trust, where I'm like, okay, now I'm ready. It's just the natural progression. So I have Hansel 2-1 versus Bill, but this should be a signature win for him. If he wants to be everything he's been talking about, this is the one that you should show up like you did for the Ace on Mean battle.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point too about the signature win, because Hansel's signature moments really haven't come on URL.
Right.
Him and Yunus off platform, him and Saints great off platform.
Ace
TBL. Off TBL. His dice battle on URL is just, I don't like it. I don't think it's that good. I don't enjoy that battle.
His best URL battle is against, as our like an actual back and forth. His best URL battle is probably against Mozzie. And then it's like, being totally truthful here, even though Mozzie just had like a good battle before, so like maybe Mozzie, there's like a tad more credit here. But like Mozzie isn't a name that you should, like, if you're like on the rise, you want to be like, your best showing was against Mozzie in a debatable.
Yeah, Mozzie had
kind of lost to Mozzie too.
Right. Yeah, and Mozzie had negative momentum going into that
battle. Mozzie had negative momentum in that battle.
So Hansel needs this win. For sure, he needs that signature URL performance. I think this can be it. Like I said, just based on the form Bill has been in, it's not going to be the biggest test, but it's still a test to see what Hansel can show, I think. So I got Hansel in this battle as well. Is that 3 again? Is that 3 up again?
Well, this has been like, I think Hansel will go out there and show improve, but to go out there, but to add some more stuff here, Bill just has. When Bill choked versus JC last year, I was really concerned because Bill doesn't choke. Bill is like a legit, can actually freestyle guy. So when Bill choked versus JC in a battle that they both wanted for a long time, you know, the story history behind that one, the 100K winners and all that shit, right? When he choked there, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Right. That's concerning. Right. All right. And then he goes out there and is underwhelming again versus Ill Will. It's like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, this is not like normal, and it's just kind of persisted since then. So I don't know. With it being maybe someone who's not as dangerous talent wise, right? He's like, Hansel is not JC, he's not Ill Will, and he's not Sharon. So maybe against someone who's not as dangerous. This is Bill's first time back on URL in the years. So maybe Bill's eager to make a dope impression here after that Nitty battle, how that went a couple of years ago. I'm not entirely sure. But with everything that's going on with Bill publicly and then in the ring, I just have a hard time imagining his motivation level for Hansel. Maybe Bill shows up, but I have a hard time not picking Hansel here.
Right.
Same. Yeah, same.
And
also, personally, I hope everything's good. No, you got some stuff going on. I hope everything's good personally. For sure. Next battle.
We are going to hear about it in the battle in a negative tone, though.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Duality battle rap. Hope he's doing good. They're going to yell at you.
If it's fire.
Yeah, right. Shotgun Suge versus Kitchen Clean. We got a good old makeup battle. A good old CTO. A good old complete the objective. Battle going on here. I just made CTO up, by the way. I just created that. Good old CTO battle here with Suge and Clean. If this battle were to go down and everyone showed up, who y'all got?
Hypothetically. Riddle me this.
Yeah, I think this is what the third time. I think this
Might
battle's
be, might be
maybe,
4. I don't know,
four.
dog.
Third time to the public eye.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah,
Might be working on 7 or 8 if we're being for real.
yeah.
This is what I love about battles like this. It's a card. There's so many talking points. Having good dialogue, and then there's a battle real simple. I got Shotgun Shug 2-1 in the shitter. Not happy to watch this one. I'm not even sure if Clean Paper will be in the state of Florida on the advertised date here. So who knows if we even watch it? But it's not a battle I like at all. And really, I should be saying Shug 3L, but because of Shug's inconsistencies as the year goes on, material wise, stumbling wise, I don't even know what his motivation is for it. He has the ability to 30 Clean Paper. I'm not looking forward to this one. That's my full thoughts on Shug.
Absolutely, like the point you just said, the motivation factor. I don't know if there's a battle rapper where the difference between him wanting a battle and them not caring about a battle but doing it has been greater.
Ooh, that's a fantastic question.
There are legitimately 2 different Shotgun Shugs. There's Shug when he cares about a battle, like easy, and there's Shug when he's just here, so he doesn't get fined.
There's Pain.
Who would
Pain,
even be
Pain.
Like,
there we go.
Who?
Like Shug versus Pain. That's
the other
the
side.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think of who would even be like number 2 there, because like Shug is so clearly number 1 in that like give a fuck, amazing. Don't give a fuck. It's like he might as well not even be there. Like
T-Top's turning into that too.
T-Top is getting there.
Even Clips at times is kind of, but now Clips is kind of not that good across the board.
He don't care about anything.
Okay, so because this is a nonsense battle, right?
Right.
I'm gonna give a nonsense answer.
Okay.
Right.
I got Clean Paper. Now here's the thing.
All right, battle. Good stuff, everybody.
We broke it up.
In 2025 is a bad space that we're in, Q.
Hey. Listen, he's following my formula because I picked Big T 2 weeks ago and was right.
Here's the thing. Ooh. I cannot provide you any sound rationale for picking Clean Paper in this battle. But off the strength of you surfacing on camera, beating up your sister's boyfriend for whatever reason, and that happening the week. I don't know. I see. I know what happened.
Wow. There's a video of Clean Paper slapping a gentleman a few times who apparently put hands on his sister.
Oh, see, there we go. Cool.
Yeah. That was
okay. So now that I know the context of this, absolutely, I stand more firm in my Clean Paper 2-1 argument. You just surfaced for putting your hands on the nigga that was putting hands on your sister. Hey, you know what? 2-1 clean.
Shout out to Clean being on the right side of the domestic violence topic, man. Shout out to him being a protector. I don't know if he's gonna win around in this battle, but that's honorable if that's how that went down.
If Clean shows up, I hope he opens around with you know like about your formerly fat ass dog.
Formerly fat.
Yeah. Shit lost a bunch of weight. I think that's great. That's a great opener.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, listen, I'm not looking forward to this battle at all, but we'll be watching it because it's live battle rap. So even if it's terrible, we'll get to laugh together, people. And that's the beautiful thing about pay-per-views.
That is a beautiful thing.
But that's a cool thought. We got one more battle.
Yeah, main event. Tay-Rock and Lou Castro. The Lou Castro journey to this battle and this moment is so fascinating.
It is.
I don't know if we've seen someone. Lou Castro, there was a phase. Lou Castro had the Summer Madness battle, right? And it was like, oh yeah, people tricked themselves thinking it was cool because the third round got interesting and fun. But that battle with Arsenal was actually terrible. If you remember that battle, it's a bad battle.
It's a bad battle.
But Lou went from that to dying in front of Chris Brown, I'm talking like Vince Carter versus that on that tall foreign man in the Olympic,
jumped over him,
like just embarrassed. To then losing to Nitty fairly shortly after that.
Yeah, Nitty got a hold of him.
Yeah, and just becoming like
punching.
He was like A.Ward got a hold of him.
Yeah, it became real dark.
To riches to rags.
Yeah.
Drugs got a hold of him.
He couldn't win rounds.
Got a hold of him.
He couldn't
Big
win
Cancer got a
rounds.
hold of him.
Oh
It
my
was a bad
god.
situation. Yo, it was a big.
He was getting windmill, like it was
Luke
bad.
Castro went on one
Like
of the
who,
worst losing streaks I've ever seen in battle
yeah,
rap.
who's the? It was like when Anthony Edwards dunked on like what Yuta Watanabe or some shit. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It was like
Yeah,
that, but like every battle. I'm like, yo,
every
god damn,
time.
nigga, like come on, bro.
Like, get out the paint, bro.
Shout out to
Just get out the
Perseverance. Because you guys remember when I first came to LTBR,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
talked about Luke
Yeah.
Castro.
Yes.
And it's even much worse than the way that we were currently reflecting back, and I was much more mean about it back then. Yo,
wasn't good.
he is back to being a good battle rapper in 2025, and I think that's it. I think that's really
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
beat Chess, beat Loso. The Chef Trez battle is good. If you had told me these things were in his future, I would not have believed you from 2022 to 2024. But he's really back in the fold, man.
Yeah. And this
all
is
the battle.
Oh my bad. Go ahead.
All the battle rappers during that time just had a meeting to whoop on him.
Yeah. It was.
I wish
dark.
that was an exaggeration, but it wasn't. Like
There were articles written about him, you
Yeah.
know, at the time by certain people at this platform.
that might have seen him the day before.
Don't. Yeah, like it was crazy.
I knew we were heading when he said after the Fonz battle when he said, "Well, it wasn't a battle rap crowd, so I was more bar for bar than Fonz." You're not like
could never be a bar for the bond, sir. It's not a thing.
Luke Castro saying they'll catch it on cam is crazy. That was crazy.
Right. He's got this Tay-Rock battle, which if you would have told me a couple years ago, after let's say that swamp battle on Homecoming, that debacle, that he'd be battling Tay-Rock a couple years after, I'd be like, what happened to Tay-Rock? Is he okay?
Right. And how about the fact it's deserved? Like
this is
100% okay. And even though I think
in this era where Tay-Rock is just outside, in this era of Tay-Rock being outside, Luke Castro absolutely deserves this play for sure.
It's be fun. It's gonna be a fun battle.
It's gonna be
a lot of energy,
fun battle.
a lot of high animation and performance. So I'm not expecting Lou to win, but I'm not mad at him being in this opportunity at all. And I think he's gonna do his part to make this like an enjoyable main event on a pay-per-view card. And that's a very big deal versus a name like Tay-Rock. So
I really don't know if he planned this, but Tay-Rock decided to run through UM1 this year.
He's collecting these niggas like Infinity Stones.
Yeah, it's a wild. It's kind of crazy.
Look, he got Jay. That was the pen. He got the pen stone there.
Real sick. He got the biggity stone.
He about to be Castro get the performance stone. He about to see Fonz get the punching stone. Yo, Rockets Thanos. Yo, France, get on that.
Yeah, he might be you on Thanos.
He's gonna pop out versus Your Honor and be like, okay, wait, we're taking it too far.
let's chill.
Hold on.
All right, let's calm down a little bit. Yeah. But no, I like this battle. I do have Rock winning because it's hard for me to pick against Rock. It's just a form he's been in this year. He got in this bag last year and just continued to be this good consistently while battling at such a high rate. It's kind of crazy. He's battling and still be good. To still go to Ohio, catch a Pikachu in a one rounder, beat somebody's ass in a battle, and then just keep being good. Then go battle on Gnome, and then just kind of handle real sick. Like whoever thoughts about the battle, kind of handle real sick. It's kind of crazy what he's been doing, and it's funny to hear people talk about Cody. I'm like, hey y'all, Rock might just double back on you
again.
He might just win again.
And with Jay having a decent battle but losing it next and then it dropped, like now everyone can see next one. Tay-Rock might be number one right now. There's a really good argument Tay-Rock is number one with two battles on the way versus some respectable names, super respectable battle versus Fonz and SM. And I do think he's going to beat Luke Castro here. Shout out Tay-Rock, man. I got praises for him.
And it used to, he did battle Gunpowder Pat. He is really getting everybody on UM1.
He did battle Gunpowder Pat. That is true.
That's what he's doing.
Easy to block, Captain.
I ain't gonna lie. Tay-Rock versus Rubando is gonna change the course of week.
I'm not gonna. Let me say something right now. If you give me Tay-Rock versus Rubando in a We Go Hard parking lot, I am locked in.
Yo, nigga, not the park. In the park, nigga.
I'm locked in. I'm here. I promise you, I'm locked in.
Okay, so there's one of those things where the natural reaction for us is to all have the same winner.
Yes.
Because picking Luke Castro over Rock in Rock's recent form is just the nonsense thing to do.
Not the right thing to do.
I will make this argument for Castro.
Let's go.
This is by far the biggest battle of his life. It is not
Yes.
known. It's not SM. But he gets to battle Tay-Rock, maybe the best battle rapper of all time, in a main event. After all the years of the ups and downs that you've gone through, and you're battling, and like this is your shot. This is your moment. So in good faith, I cannot pick Lou Castro to win this battle with an on paper prediction. What
Right.
I can say is, I think with this being the biggest moment of his life and what he has displayed this year, I think Castro will show up, and I don't think that he will lose his battle clearly. If he loses clearly, it's not going to be because that like he was ass, he was underwhelming. It's going to be because Rock has been really excited for this battle.
I agree.
Rock has been hinting at that you are relevant in 2 weeks. You are relevant in 2 weeks before the card even dropped. So Rock was clearly excited to do this battle and for this event. If Castro loses, it's not because he sucked. It's because Rock took off on him. So
I love
I
that.
won't. So I
I
can't
love
say Castro will win, but I do think this will actually wind up being a very close battle because Castro rose to the occasion.
Yeah, I got all those nice words about Cashman. I got Tay-Rock. Kind of clear. Shout out to Lou though. I think Lou. You know what'll happen? Lou will do clear enough in the moment to say he had a good battle, and Tay-Rock's nice, who also said it was a good battle, and then the battle would drop, and but Rock kind of handled that, didn't he? But
That's
as long
possible.
as you make the staff of URL feel good in the moment, that can take you further than any of our opinions. As long as they think you did good, it won't matter when we come on group chat that Sunday and I'm like, Tay-Rock kind of beat that nigga ass. It's not gonna matter.
Yeah. Hey, look, we watched Stumbles get like 8 plates.
So many plates.
I'll tell you
So,
right, like
but it was.
That did happen. Oh, I just
Oh my
shuddered.
god.
Oh,
grudge battle.
let's pod.
Grudge battle.
Let's
We
end the
bought
pod.
5 switches here. They're in the building. They're on us. 5 switches.
That was the worst social experiment the battle rap
Yeah,
has ever created.
I don't know. I don't remember a bar from that battle. I just remember that nonsense. That was like one of the ultimate almost fight runs from Tay-Rod. Every other battle was having something in it too. 5 switches. But yeah, man, I think that's it for Nexus, but I'm looking forward to it. I could see the world, especially with this on pay-per-view, it could be like an 8 out of 10 card. And then this leading up into SM, I think that would be very good momentum. You've had all these great SM announcements. Maybe you save one of your back end announcements. You have like 3 announcements left, one for that night. And then the other thing one thing that I love that they do for Nexus, and I think helps when it's on live stream, is the call outs. Because once the battles are all done, they bring all the battlers together at the end with Smack there. And some of them are like timid. It's funny. All these battle rappers will talk crazy on Twitter. When you ask them for a call, they're like, man, I just want to
I just want some competition, man.
You know what? I want to predict.
Like, if you don't get your
out of here,
WWE and call someone out and be like, I'm going to fuck up this guy. So hopefully we see that at the end. But I'm a big fan of what they got going on, man.
Before we get out of here, I actually want to predict call outs. Let's see.
Predict call outs.
All right, so I got Wusa and Hansel. I got both of them calling out Tay-Rock. But Hansel gonna be like, you said you called me out. He right there. Smack, he right there. He called me out. That's what Hansel's gonna do.
I would be Hansel might call out John too. I actually am not. If he beats Bill Collector and with the condition,
I'm not mad.
I'm not getting mad. At one point, they were saying this is the most sought after. No, it wasn't. You were lying.
Why is it not Hansel and John unknown?
Unknown is ridiculous.
Boy,
but
that was a special time.
I wouldn't be mad at that. And then Wusa, I think Wusa and Lou Castro will call out Shotgun Shook.
Yeah, you know what? That actually makes sense. Yeah, because Shook will be there possibly. Yeah,
on that card. I don't know. Maybe Shotgun Shook will call them out too. He'll probably call out Ice and a Cal rematch and Hollow. It's what he does every time. But realistically, he could battle one of them next.
I got Klutz calling out B-Dot.
Yo, you know what's funny is like it's so stupid, but like you're not wrong.
Okay, so like I don't think this will happen. But in the event that Klutz wants to battle rap and is interested in having more battles booked after this,
the chef,
that would be a really good one. I'm not mad if Klutz calls out Jay. I would like to. I would like to see that.
Crazy. I could see Klutz calling on Nitty too. It depends how good he is that night.
If Clutch goes crazy and he's like, because I think that like at least me and Smo think that he can like, I'm not trying if you feel the same like I just the right scenario he probably winds up as like a best performer of the night kind of guy, at least in that category with like Rock and things like that, where he's like probably at least in that conversation.
Yeah.
So if he has a type of night, you know what, man, sure, get your Nitty call out in, like whatever.
Yeah. Kid Slade is gonna say none of these niggas ready for the God 7. So Kid Slade is gonna say.
Kid Slade's not gonna pick a name.
Nah.
I'm ready to work,
I
dog.
ain't gonna lie, ACP. There's no reason to call out Real Sick because he's gonna say no.
Yeah, Real Sick's gonna say, I have other ventures. Our paths are different. The energy in the universe, the chakras.
One day
with 100 emoji.
I'm gonna see you soon. 100 emoji.
Yeah, listen, what Real Sick got to do is stop running from Chef Trez.
Facts.
And Chef Trez not on this card, but that's his first order of business is go catch Real Wreck with someone who's actually been top 5 for Cody multiple times, with someone who actually shows up.
Something real sick has not done.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm Real Sick is a fantastic and I think a top tier talent in his own right. But I think all the things that people give him credit for is the shit Chef Trez is actually doing. But that'll be a conversation for hopefully when that battle gets booked one day.
Loso kind of made this point the other day. He wasn't like downing Sick or Easy. He was saying those guys, even he was talking about Sick's tweet to Trez, and he was like, even that tweet, all those battles he named were opportunities for him. They weren't just wreck. It's just what it is with Sick.
Meanwhile, Chef Trez is like, hey, I'm top 5 every year, and I'm actually beating all of the same names.
Like Trez cleared Rock,
right.
and the Rock cleared Sick. Trez had a debatable with. I guess some people say Sick and Twerk had a debatable.
Right, Trez and Av is closer than Sick and Av.
And we could go on and on if we're being honest about who Chef Trez is actually beaten. That's Real Sick is just seeking after or having good losses first. I don't know how we broke off from that, but I like that because we need
me
that
too.
battle.
That's a good way to end
And I do not like
also,
the way that it's being dodged. So
yeah. Also, that shout out to the Chef Trez, the ebook he published. Man, definitely read that. It's $5. You can copy it. I mean to get it. I'm gonna get it in a couple of days for sure. It's like $5 ebook just about his life and perseverance, going through struggles and everything. Definitely check that out. Shout out to Trez. Shout out to Battle Rap. Shout out to y'all, man. I think this was a good show. We had these numbers are correct. Between Twitter and YouTube, we got 1,400 people. That's crazy. Shout out to all y'all.
We just love talking battle rap, man. We were gonna do this either way, so we love to share.
Thanks.
We love the comments that commenter of the day is the guy the last or whatever. You might be commenting.
That was Justin.
Is that Justin?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I thought he was joking because I'm like, oh, why is he saying my name? I'm like, oh, okay, that's why he was so serious. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, shout out to that. Thank y'all for listening, man, and we'll be back next Sunday. We don't have a set time limit now. When football season rolls around, it'll probably be more structured because we some football watching people around here. So
we might have to do super early because football is not going to be compromised for battle rap.
Well, listen, we pay for Sunday ticket right now. So
yeah. We Sunday ticket, so we locked in for sure.
I don't pay for nothing, but Stream East will not be missing me at 10 a.m.
Amen to that. So yeah, thank y'all, man. And with that being said, we're out.